Hum, yum, yum.
Oh my god.
That
is. This is going to be our lowest rated episode.
God, you're eating on stream.
Yeah. Vegemite on toast, baby. Let's go. I'm fully fueled. Let's fucking do this.
Is that what you're actually eating?
Bro, absolutely. Of course. Every single day.
Never believed the Australian allegations.
I mean, honestly, I think if you polled a majority of Australians, I really believe that like at least 30% of them would eat Vegemite on toast daily. Happy to hear different in the comments, but I think it's that high.
See,
it's a big deal for us, man. We don't mess around.
I prefer Marmite.
No, I don't say that's fucking shit, that stuff.
Well, that's the
Garbage.
British. That's the British.
Yeah, definitely.
Come on.
It's terrible.
Jake, congrats, dude. New Mummy movie.
Oh, yeah. No, I was so nervous. I was like, what?
What? Wait, okay. Just tell us the story first, Lizzie. What is this?
They are making a new Mummy movie with Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz.
Apparently, it's still Deadline reporting. It's not confirmed, but the people behind it are some of the original producers, not Stephen Sommers, the director,
I was gonna say,
but the
Steven
directing
involved.
people who directed Ready or Not the game, a movie from 2019 with Samara Weaving that I thought was pretty good. But look, oh boy, here we go. I'm so happy that people are excited, and I can get excited. But I'm one of those people that like I'm very at peace, and I have been at peace with knowing we were never getting another one. I did not want another one. Now that we're getting one, I'm worried because that's like a lightning in a bottle type thing. Like I really think it's a fool's errand to like try to chase that again.
Like Indiana Jones is like the whole premise is like, you know, super hot macho dude you saving like just like Harrison Ford in his prime is Indiana Jones. He's not Indiana Jones when he's 75 years old. He's just not, man. That's just not how it is. And I just can't see how you go back to that with Brendan Fraser. Like unless it's that kind of thing where he's like, I don't know, what's that guy's name that fell off really hard, the Indiana Jones guy that was gonna Shia LaBeouf or whatever. They get like a Shia LaBeouf dude in, he's like, you're gonna take over. And they're like,
they have the son. They have
the son
Alex.
should die. They should kill the son.
Why?
Because he was terrible in the second one, and then in the third one. So here's my thing. Only the first one's good. This is like a hot take.
Ooh, that is a hot take. Wait, so you don't like The Mummy Returns?
No. It has a lot of great stuff, but I don't know. Like, when was the last time you watched them like back to back? It's like the first one is on another level. Like
last year,
crazy.
Really?
Okay, good.
Okay.
I will admit, 2 was the one that I always preferred when I was a kid. 1, the tighter movie, the better movie.
Yeah.
Benny,
Clash of the Titans or whatever.
The wrong side of the river.
I do think though it just feel like it was so nice to see like the whole internet and the whole world be so excited about this, and like I want it to be good. I'm gonna root for it, and I feel like the world could use just a good, triumphant, fun mummy movie. I was actually talking to Tam about this. Like, I feel like they just need to like not do the thing that's been such a trope now where it's like they're old and they're sad now and they need one last adventure. Like, don't do that. Just be like obviously they're characters and time has passed, like they can change, but change in a way that like is fun and entertaining and not thought-provoking, because I don't care. Like I again, Ralph, what you said, it's like they're hot, do their thing. I also argue that they're not that old. Oded Fair is looking a little older now. But like Brendan's coming back.
Oded Fair has aged spectacularely.
Yes, I mean it's cool. He's like a silver fox now. Yeah. Rachel Weisz, like it's like you don't even need to. 10 That's the thing though that I thought was interesting. Sorry to make this a mummy podcast, but the fact that she is involved is pretty big. Which like I'm like, what is that about? Is it just money? Is it the quality of like an idea or a script that actually got her interested? Because she doesn't do a lot anymore. She's very like selective. Yeah, and she didn't even show up for the third one.
What was the last big thing she was in? Like she was amazing in The Favorite. That was 2019.
Yeah, that's all. She was in the Black Widow movie. Okay, so maybe. Okay, that's what she was in the Black Widow movie.
Who is she in the Black Widow movie?
Black Widow's mom.
Oh my god, I can't even remember that.
With David Harbour.
David
Which-
Nice Guy
that's right.
Harbor.
I have
allegedly.
not listened to that album, but it's all anyone is talking about too. Maybe he's in it.
So
Fingers crossed for the mummy, man. Honestly though, this is like a reverse Emperor situation where it's like they half-assed Palpatine back, but Emotep can, like, I'm down for Emotep to come back and like they just kick his ass again because he was like, death is only the beginning. So why not? Sure,
But that's
come
the
back.
thing.
Fuck
I mean,
it. Who else are they going to fight? I don't care. Jet Li again? No way.
Oh my god, I forgot about the Jet Li one.
Yeah.
I mean, Inoxinamoon, bring her back. I did see they do the convention circuit, and I did see a picture of someone, and she got to meet all of them, like Jonathan too.
I think it was me who posted that. I reposted that. I took it from like a fan Facebook account and I reposted it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're getting a mummy movie. You know
Excellent.
what we're not getting?
Here we
on
go.
May 26th, 20.
Nice, Lucy. Very nice.
26th. That's GTA 6.
Yeah, the delay
Who
is
could have
official.
seen that coming?
I mean, everyone always says like, "Oh, I bet it's going to be delayed," but like, no one knows. No one knows. Like, we don't know. We have no insight whatsoever. It could actually be totally finished right now, and we would have no idea.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So-
If only there were some Discords we could look in.
Yeah. I don't know. Whenever I hear a release date announcement, like delays from like these big games or whatever, I just don't care that much. Like, I'm just like, cool. You need more time to finish your game. Fair enough. It's what like Strauss Zelnick was saying. He's like, yeah, we just want to make it better.
Mm-hmm.
He also sort of like threw some shade at other companies. He's like, well, I do note that other companies had the chance to delay their games when it needed to be done, and they didn't do it at their peril. And it's like, bro, you released the GTA Trilogy remaster, okay? Don't fucking lecture us about like,
many other
we're always
fucking-
willing to delay something when it's not. We're like, shut the fuck up, man.
Wait, why is he British in this?
I don't know, man. It's just because the British are obnoxious, okay? It's just an easy go-to. Okay?
Yeah, what about the name Strauss Zelnick says Great Britain to you?
I think it becomes a very different kind of message if I put a Strauss Zelnick accent on it, if you know what I mean.
I'm just annoyed that this was like I'm bad with dates and remembering them. This is the only one I had locked down, and now they change it on me.
I mean, I guess selfishly for us, like there is one dimension where it's like the end of year is already pretty busy, and it was actually really great that it was going to be coming out in May, because May is super chill, right? There's not much happening in May
for content. Yeah,
you can just like really just focus on that game for a month before Summer Game Fest comes along. It's like cool, great, fantastic.
Yeah.
Now we're like, I don't know. There's a lot that always happens in October and November, and
it's
I
not
feel
even
like
and it's not even after Thanksgiving for
no,
the
it's
US.
right before. It's pretty late in November too. Like I feel like it's a
19th.
weird date to have been delayed to, which kind of to me, I take this one less seriously now for some reason. Like just subconsciously, I'm like, yeah, maybe you got one more in you after that, because late November sounds weird.
Well, late November is weird because if you're talking about game awards and other award ceremony submissions, like I think by November 19th, like stuff like the Golden Joysticks has already happened.
yeah,
Rockstar's cool. They don't give a shit about
as if they would
awards.
give
No,
a
they
fuck about game awards.
No, they
As if they would care.
they do
Like
care.
how could
think
they
so?
care?
I think they care.
I mean, you're going to sell.
But I think
imagine
they're also just big enough that I think people will move dates. People already do move dates for them.
Of course.
All the people that move their dates are like, fuck.
Not Devolver though. Did you see Devolver?
Yes, of course.
So Devolver
Yeah,
originally, as soon as they announced the May 26th date, Devolver said, we're going to release a game on that day too. And then, they moved it to November, and Devolver was immediately like, don't worry guys, we're moving it to November 19th now.
Yes, I think look, it is what it is. I think the other story, the story that gets buried underneath the weight of this delay announcement is another story from Bloomberg, which has now been confirmed by Rockstar, where Rockstar basically sacked 30 to 40 people who were involved in a Discord server that was discussing unionization at Rockstar. And that Discord also had non-Rockstar employees in it in the form of union organizers. And Rockstar claims that those people were revealing confidential information in that Discord to an outside party, which is against obviously whatever. And that's why they sacked them. They say that there's no link whatsoever to their unionization activities and the fact that they did that. So
I think the union also replied that they are allowed to like discuss certain terms of employment.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? But they could have been like, and believe me, I got no desire to defend Rockstar in this whatsoever. But what I will say is that like we don't know if at some point someone maybe uploaded like a screenshot just as a joke or something, or maybe they referenced the name of an NPC that hasn't been revealed yet. They're like, that is so something Tony would say. Do you know what I mean? Like, and Tony's an NPC in in GTA 6.
Right. So like they can nail you on some little technicality.
And then that's the thing that they can nail you on to fire you all, right? So we don't know, right? We have no idea. But I mean, the idea that like 40 people all lose their jobs, I don't know, man. Like that just seems fucking sus to me. Like that doesn't smell right at all. Like, was it one person who posted some information, or was it all 40 people actively sharing things? And like,
well, that's the
what
thing,
was it exactly?
That's not the full Discord server, allegedly. So allegedly, a Rockstar employee who is in that server, posted on a forum, had their employment verified by mod or whatever, and they said that there's over like 200 people are in that server. So what?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. We just don't know. Yeah. So I mean, I think everyone's always very sensitive to like union busting shit because like it does happen and it is common, and like companies are always going to try and do what they can, but we just don't know, and so I think hopefully some more reporting does happen around it. Hopefully the people involved do speak up a bit and we get some clarity, because if it is union busting, then that fucking sucks. But if they were leaking confidential information, then that also sucks, and you can understand why Rockstar did what they did. So we just don't know.
Yeah, it's always interesting when information comes out about Rockstar, the notoriously tightest ship.
Yeah.
Unless you're the mate of someone's son. You can just
sell a fire stick, boom, leak it.
Oh, that's right.
Baby.
Yeah. that was crazy.
That was pretty nuts. So yeah.
Well,
anyway.
I feel like, at least for me, I love seeing everyone like, oh man, this is killing me. The weight is killing me. But like, I'm good. I feel like I'm on like a different planet because like I have enough games to play until I die already. Yeah. So like I'm fine.
Yep. Totally agree.
I'll play it. Want to play it?
And like I also, and that's what I've said it before. Like I'm looking forward to GTA, but I'm also someone that's like, I know where GTA fits in my life. Like historically, I've always enjoyed the GTA games, but they've never meant that much to me. Except for like GTA 3, where I was like, whoa, what the hell is this? And Vice City, I would say. After that, though, like, I don't know, they didn't mean as much to me. And so I'm very certain I'll really enjoy GTA 6, but then I'll put it down, and it's, who knows, maybe it's my game of the year. I don't know. But it's like it's not the size and shape of a game that typically sits at the top of my game of the year list. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
There are different genres and different styles of games that I'm more interested in than GTA 6. So, yeah.
The thing that I kind of can't wait for with GTA 6 is I'm excited to play the game, don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of Rockstar games. I have a Red Dead mouse mat right now as we're talking, one of my favorite games of all time. GTA is the franchise that I play. Like, again, I'm not as into it as the others. However, I don't think we're going to see a gaming launch like it. And I'm so interested because I was working at a company called Jinx when GTA 5 came out. And like even the zeitgeist moment then was the first time I remember Sky News would be reaching out, being like, we're doing a whole episode or something about GTA. We need like people to come talk about it. And so GTA as it was in the games industry as it was in 2013 versus how it's going to be in 2026 is going to be a fascinating thing to watch.
Yeah.
And the discourse is going to be unbearable.
It's going to be a lot. God. It's going to be a lot. It's definitely going to be a lot.
So we'll see. I feel like it's interesting too, just in terms of a big thing where there isn't anything like it. And I mean that not like, hey, there's nothing like it, but more in the sense of like, we don't have people lining up around the block to buy Halo 3 anymore. Call of Duty still sells a bunch, but it doesn't have that like cultural touch point that it used to. So it's kind of like, all right, we got Grand Theft Auto 6 and whatever else between now and then goes viral or surprises us, that's it. Like Power World 2 or whatever. Who knows?
Ball X Pit, baby. That's it.
Yeah, you want to talk about not like, oh yeah, it
Nah.
doesn't mean the size doesn't matter. Like, yeah, ball pit might be like on my top 5 game of the year.
Oh, really?
it?
You've been playing it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that you started playing it.
Oh, he was
Yeah,
downloading
dude,
it while we were talking about it,
that's
right?
right.
Yeah.
But we always do that on Powerwash. So like, oh, that sounds really cool. We buy it on the podcast, and then we don't have any time to play it. So we don't. But you actually have played it now.
Yeah, you got me on the Orakai chants as they're like marching forward because I ended up playing it on my TV with like the sound bar, and I'm like, whoa, this is sick. It's so good.
It's cool, isn't it?
Who's your favorite guy?
So I've been taking it really slow. I have a lot of time in it, but I still just like the Three Musketeers guy. With his little hat.
Yeah, I like him.
He's like an early unlock, but I'm still taking it slow.
Man, I feel like I don't want to spoil some of the unlocks because I feel like there's such a surprise when you get them. But
I've seen some of them. They're like,
weird.
But there's some really game-changing shit. There's some really game-changing shit that comes later on that really just like, you're like, what? What? Oh, okay, we're doing that now, are we? Okay, you know?
So we had a night where myself, Max, and Jen were all on the couch. Max is playing Battlefield and then Ball Pit on the big TV. Jen is on her Switch. I'm on my ROG Ally. And we're all just playing it, not really even talking to each other. And then at one point, one of, I think it was Jen, got one of the big game-changer things. And we all were just like, no way! Oh my god, this is so sick.
So like
it was like the closest thing we've had to a little LAN party in a while. It was great.
I think
Isn't that nice?
I'm trying to think of it is like Clair Rescue is definitely my game of the year. Kingdom Come is definitely number 2. After that, there's some like really good contenders, like like Donkey Kong and I don't know whatever else. But like I really think, definitely Ball X Pit is. It's number 3 to 5. I'll put it that way, right? It's up there that high for me. It's actually incredible. Mm-hmm. I don't know. We gushed about it so much in the last episode. I feel like we can't really do it again without repeating ourselves. But like, please, if you haven't played it, go and play it. It's like what, $20 or whatever, something like that.
Yeah,
it's just sold 750,000 copies. Actually, Devolver just announced it. But it's the kind of game that's going to go on to sell like 5 million units because like over time more and more people will be like, what is this, and then they just like lose 5 straight days to it. Like I put 25 hours into it over like I think 5 days. Unlocked everything, by the way. That's the other thing. I unlocked everything in 25 hours and I walk away from it feeling really satisfied. You can keep going after that because it has like infinite scaling, but you don't need to. And I'm okay with stepping away after 25 hours, unlocking all the things and going, cool. Unless there's some other kind of meta progression stuff that I haven't unlocked yet that I don't know about, but I don't know. It seems like I've unlocked everything. And just extremely happy with it. So
what a game.
What a game, man. Like actually what a game. Crazy.
It's been a good time for addictive little handheld games or games you play on your Steam Deck or your whatever. Because it was like Mega Bunk and then like the Mega Bunk to Ball Pit pipeline was just like, well, I guess I'm not playing anything else.
And Luminous is around the corner.
Oh,
I'm very excited for that.
Luminous is Arise. I can't talk
franchise
about it yet.
I have no experience with whatsoever.
Well, that's going to be really fascinating because I think if you boot this up, did you play Tetris Effect?
Tetris Effect, yeah.
Okay, so did you like the vibe? Did you like the vibe?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. So like, imagine the vibe of Tetris Effect, but like, imagine significantly more texture in the soundscape, where like each of the blocks has their own specific little sound and the way they sort of and weight and the way they tumble and crack and move, and it's a really, really fascinating game in terms of its audio design. Like it's really crazy. And until you actually experience it for yourself, it doesn't quite make sense. But when you do, you're like, whoa, what the? Never seen anything like it. Never heard anything like it. It's low-key genius. So I can't really talk much more about it now, but I will say I'm reviewing it and I'm going to be talking about it next week. So next episode for sure, and a video on the channel. But yeah, man, it's a fascinating game.
All right.
Yeah, the demo was great. I really enjoyed the demo.
Yeah.
I just vibe out.
That's it, man.
Play it.
That was me with Tetris Effect in VR. Just like,
oh yeah,
this supports VR as well. Actually, that was right.
Cool.
With Jordan Midler at Summer Game Fest, like I was just kind of going around with him for some of his appointments because I had some spare time. And he just sat there and they just had the endless mode on or whatever, and we just were like, oh yeah.
Yep, it's very, very good. Yep.
Jake, you mentioned handheld stuff there. You mentioned Steam Deck. What have you been up to with your?
Oh yeah, today I did a little hacking, and I've been using the Xbox Ally X, the ROG Ally X. And as much as I like the idea of the Xbox full screen experience, I found it a little annoying after a while.
It sucks balls, man. It sucks balls big time. It's
sometimes
so
like the organization is different. Like after I sleep it and wake it up, the layout is a little bit like just like little things that I was like, eh.
You can't even filter games based on. You can't even filter your library based on recently played. I'm just like,
really?
Yeah, you really can't. Like if you go into it now and you go into the Xbox library and you go recently played, you can't. Like it only sorts like alphabetically, or I can't even remember now. But I'm just like, I just want to see, put the game that I recently played at the top of the list, please, and you can't do it.
Yeah, a little too finicky for my blood. So I burned it all down, and I was going to do Bazite, but the way it worked out, SteamOS ended up being good for it. Like people have been on it, so it's just has SteamOS on it now. So now it's like basically I have like a supercharged Steam Deck.
It's so funny,
basically. So
like it's hilarious that like Xbox goes to all this trouble of releasing this Xbox. Oh my god, that's it. That's it though, right? Like, and that's exactly how I use it. I don't have SteamOS on there, but like all I do is I boot it up, and then I just go straight to full screen mode, like Steam full screen mode. That's it. Yeah. That's all I do.
It's also been acknowledging my player like preference, where I'm like, oh, the reality is what I'm playing on this. I'm fine with just my Steam library, and then like God forbid I do need something on GOG or Epic or whatever. Like you can get that running on a Steam Deck, so I assume you can get it running on a Steam OS. So
because I was going to ask, what about other storefronts?
Yeah, so I mean, I've had Steam Deck for years, and I've had like Epic Games and stuff. Like sometimes it's annoying, sometimes it doesn't work, but you can do it. And like even like one of the coolest things, like when testing the Ally X, was like, oh my god, I'm playing Battlefield and it like looks pretty good, and I'm able to play multiplayer Battlefield with all the anti-cheat shit. But then the reality set in as like someone just using it, and I was like, well, I don't want to play Battlefield that way. Like I'm playing Battlefield on my couch, or I'm playing Battlefield with my mouse. And so I was like, me, as I use these things, Steam OS is the thing for me. So
yeah, I totally agree.
It's pretty good. No issues except for the power button sometimes not working, but we're working on that. So otherwise it's good. It's like smooth as butter. It's zippy fast. So
yeah, I mean, even just like the Xbox UI thing lags significantly to navigate. And did you notice this? Have you guys noticed this? Oh, it's so just pressing things. You're like, is this input latency? What is this?
Truthfully, I just open up the crate, the Armory crate, and access my games from there. Or I do.
Do you really?
Open up or I do crate.
Steam
Armory crate. Who the
crack open the crate? She's a real Raj Ally person
with the Armory.
She's been a Raj Ally. Yeah, this ain't her first Roger.
It's not. I use the. Oh man, I have been going back to using my old Rog, because I wanted to leave it at the office, and if I had some time, like downtime, I would play some stuff. And I left my old one there, and they've swapped around where the Armory crate button is and the hamburger button is on that one. And my muscle memory from using the Ally X the whole time means that every single time I've gone to pause something or do something like Manor, I accidentally bring up the crate or something.
Yeah, and then you get screwed in game if you're playing an active game. Yeah.
Well, luckily for me, I enjoy not being active.
Good.
So
don't we all?
Not
see,
a problem
all?
for me. Oh my god, I've I don't know. Maybe I'll do it on my old one and keep the new one with the.
Yeah, it's nice. I like, because I mean, like, I guess it's a testament to like, I like the hardware enough. I know the screen isn't OLED, but like, I don't mind the screen. I like how loud it gets, like sound wise. The ergonomics are great. So like, credit to them. Like that's why I put SteamOS on this, because I did want to continue using it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I think it's a really good handheld PC, but a really shitty Xbox. Like it's just, I mean, that's it though. Like I just think that's the strap line for it.
Yeah.
That's it though. Like it's extremely powerful. Ergonomics are there. It's very heavy, of course, and the screen isn't like top tier, but like it's a really great device when you're just playing something and you're like, damn, there's no compromises here. Like you can play AAA games. They don't look fantastic, but you can do it, and you really can't play most newer AAA games on the Steam Deck these days. Like, well, not most. I mean, it's sort of a bit sort of hit and miss,
Games that I like always run fine on Steam Deck.
That's what I'm saying. And like, but the games that you typically want to play on a handheld always run fine on a Steam Deck, right? And so it's still enough. But yeah, if you do want to have that little next level up and whatever, you can do it really well, really comfortably. Just that every time you need to like put it to sleep and then wake it up and like put your pin in, and then you see some Windows bullshit, and then you get loaded into the Xbox thing, and you don't want to be in the Xbox thing.
The fingerprint.
You got the fingerprint thing?
I use fingerprint.
It doesn't even work for me half the time. I don't know why my fingerprints just don't work.
You shouldn't have burned them off in that.
That's right. Well, I had to commit all those crimes, Lucy.
You were doing.
Okay.
Hey.
Oh, I did actually burn my fingers off like a week ago. It was a long.
How did you burn your fingers?
I was. This is like homeowner bullshit, but I was dumping like sewer chemicals, like cesspool chemicals, down a well. To unclog something
in Arkham City.
Yeah, I'm like poisoning the water supply
in Jersey. This was in Jersey, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then afterwards, like I'm just like sitting there enjoying the breeze outside, admiring my work, and then like my gloves are itchy, and then I look down and the gloves are like eroding away, and I'm like, whoa! Oh, no. So I ripped the glove off, and my fingertips were like pale white. Like baby skin.
Yeah, that was bone.
So I basically had to just like wash my hands for like an hour for that to go away. Wow. And it resulted in like the layer being gone, I guess. And then it made everything slippery. It made my phone like extra slippery when I held it because I had no grippies. So also that meant that I could not as easily open my Xbox Ally X in conclusion.
No.
Just stupid homeowner shit. Just be careful when you use chemicals.
I mean, at least you were wearing gloves at all, you know?
Yeah, could have been much worse.
Could have been much worse. Oh my God. I know, speaking of crimes, you see that shit with the Louvre? What the password was?
What the password? No.
What was the password?
They accessed the Louvre security camera system, and the password was Louvre.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
It's always the one you least suspect.
Oh my God.
It's like that Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness mission where you got to sneak into the Louvre. That was the coolest shit.
Oh,
that's going to be a really nice touch for the movie. And then they're going to be like, what? Brad Pitt's going to be like, what do you mean the password is Louvre? Surely it can't be Louvre. George Clooney's is.
I really, there's someone posted on Blue Sky. I owe so many game developers a lot of apologies. Because it's because after they quote tweeted the Louvre password thing, because like when you're hacking into stuff in games or something, the password is always in the same room. Like what was I playing? Blake Manor, for example. A lot of people have lock boxes, and the clue is always in the room, or just they is always in the room.
It's like the Batman Arkham games when you have the cryptographic, and the password's always like Mr. Freeze or like Asylum. Like it's always something so obvious.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
What else do we want to talk about? Oh, I suppose we should say we've got a dispatch interview, but we can come to that. Do you want to do that now?
Let's do that now. That's a good time to throw to it. Like, first of all, has anyone? So, who's played Dispatch so far?
Not me.
I'm just about caught up.
Yeah.
You're caught up, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm only one episode in, so tell me how you're finding it.
Oh man, I like it a lot.
Me too.
So it's also too like I think I was set up to like really like it because I went in not really interested. The trailers didn't hook me, and to be honest, I didn't know fully who was working on it. And I saw the Critical Role thing, and I was like, oh, some like Dungeons and Dragons like theater kid bullshit. Not for me. But then I said screw it. I bought the game, and I was like, oh, it's not just, but like it's a Telltale game. It's like a spiritual successor to Telltale, and it's a little less interactive, but it has incredible animation, really good storytelling, some great voice acting, a good hook, and I gotta say, like Aaron Paul as the lead is really fucking good. Really good.
He's like acting, because I when I heard he was the lead, I was like, oh, he's probably just going to be like Aaron Paul talking into a mic, which is very common when Hollywood actors like do their thing, you know?
Yeah.
But like he's putting on a very deliberate character. He's like properly acting. And I'm not saying that like Charlie Cox didn't act in Claire Obscure, but what I'm saying is that like he was just kind of Charlie Cox saying his lines, and do you know what I mean? Whereas this is not Aaron Paul as you see him in interviews or whatever. Like, this is a different persona he's adopted, and it's so thorough and convincing and so good.
Did you guys not watch BoJack Horseman?
Yeah, he did a voice in that. Right?
He was in that. He did a voice for that too, and he was really good in it.
Okay.
So it doesn't surprise me to hear that he's also excellent in this.
Yeah. His character is really good. It's kind of like a down on his luck, kind of, I don't know what you'd call him, like a blue beetle or like a night owl from the Watchmen.
Yeah,
he's kind of like that type
like
of guy. Like, he doesn't have powers, but he has tech. And he gets like,
he's kind of just
over.
sad and broken, and like he's just kind of doing the best he can, but he knows it's a losing battle, and and then he just like he loses the battle, and now he's just on his ass, and now he has to go work for this like superhero dispatch thing because he can't be a superhero anymore, really. And I didn't know that the person that you interviewed, what's his name, Nick Herman?
Nick Herman.
Nick Herman. I was like, okay, cool. I don't know who this person is, and then I looked it up. And Nick Herman, director, The Wolf Among Us. Oh shit. Director, The Walking Dead. Oh shit. Director, Tales of the Borderlands, which accomplished the impossible task of making Borderlands actually funny. I'm sorry, but that's fucking miracle working right there. You know what I mean? Like, that is a serious CV. And so when I saw that, I was like, well, no wonder this game is so damn good, because it's obviously helmed by him. Obviously, there's a huge team underneath him, and they're all doing incredible work as well. But what I'm saying is that, like, that is a very good pedigree in terms of line items on a CV, because they were all fantastic games.
Yeah, essentially, like the a lot of like there's, I believe, like four main guys that are at the top of this that were behind a lot of those games. So it makes sense. And I mean, I loved all of that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Wolf Among Us is one of my favorites. The Batman game, I think, is excellent as well.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You don't find many kind words for that
not
one.
so much.
I was gonna say, the weak link for me was the Game of Thrones one, but I think that was more the property being difficult to work with, especially.
Did you guys play the old ones back in the day? Did you guys play like the Back to the Future one and Jurassic Park? Man.
Did Wallace and Gromit have one?
I don't remember. I don't think
they had a game, but
they
I don't know
had
if
a
it was
game around then. I can't remember. But yeah, Back to the Future was my first Telltale.
Yeah.
I think I went into this when I saw Dispatch. I'm like, they're like, from the people from Telltale. And I can't remember specifically. So tell me if I'm just imagining this. But I'm pretty sure we've had quite a few games come out over the last few years that are like from the people who worked at Telltale, and they've done things. And then those games end up not very good. Am I imagining that, or am I right? Like, I just feel like there's been a couple of that where I think it also go on.
I think it also gets so muddled in like the whole corporate. It's like, wait, there's new Telltale, there's old Telltale, then some of those people left. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, and so I guess I kind of just tuned out to that as a selling point. And also, I think a lot of the time that doesn't really work. Like, when we hear developers at a new studio who are like, a bunch of our people used to work at this other good studio. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, that's not really that impressive. I think a lot of the time that doesn't really translate to great success, And so again, when I heard Dispatch, when I heard like Telltale, whatever, I'm like, But now, having played it for myself, I'm like, oh no, this actually is the best parts of Telltale carried over into this new studio, and they're making the same games that they used to make, except now they look even better in terms of the animation. It's fantastic. It's so good. I can't wait to play the rest of it. I really am so locked in on it.
I am curious to see if they stick the landing. But the one thing I do like is that the more you play, the more gameplay elements are introduced, because the dispatching gameplay it's fine. I enjoy it enough. It gets me through. I'm really just in it for the story. It's interesting how, and I kind of have been saying this up front when I talk about it, it is way less interactive than a classic Telltale game. You're not making mile a minute decisions and dialogue options and optional dialogue or things like that. You're not walking around talking to people and clicking on things. But I think it's better for it because it just moves better. And even talking to the guys, you'll hear in the interview, it was a deliberate choice. They were like walking around in Walking Dead and clicking on shit just kind of like killed the pacing, and we didn't like that, so we got rid of it.
Did you disable the quick time events when you played?
No, I kept them. But they're so simple and they're so few and far between.
Dang,
I just turned them off. And there's like in the intro cutscene I saw, there's like this one scene where he like picks up a rifle ready to swing, and he's like, and the game kind of slows down, and it's like, oh, obviously there's meant to be a quick time event here, but there's nothing. It's just he just goes.
Yeah.
And then it plays, you know?
I'm curious to see how you like it as it moves on, because the first episode is like a banger, and then like once it settles into a flow, it's very much more of like a workplace style show, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
But I still think it maintains the same good aspect to it. Was Jeffrey Wright in episode 1?
No, he wasn't. He's in episode 2.
So he's in episode 2.
Because I played the demo, and that's based on episode 2. I played that as well.
So just, I mean, again, like another celebrity voice actor, but he does a really good job, and he sounds like he's having a lot of fun with the role. Like he's doing something completely different.
Last of Us was not fun.
Yeah, no, definitely not. So here he's like doing crazy shit. And then you have the kind of streamer content creator cast. You have like Alana, you have Charlie, Moist Critical, you have Jacksepticeye and other people I'm not as familiar with, but like I think they all do a really good job, and I think Charlie does a great job. His character, like the concept of that character, is really cool, and I think his voice fits. I think that was something that was kind of a risk. Like you're either gonna like that, you might hate that, but I think if you don't know who they are, their voices just work for the characters, and it's fine.
True.
Well, I think that's a good place to throw to the interview. Jake, who were you talking to?
So we talked to Nick Herman and Pierre Shorette. They're basically some of the top guys in terms of writing and directing, their history with Telltale. So we get into all that, and they're great. It was a great, candid conversation. They are extremely normal, which is always good.
It's always nice.
So
that helps.
Let's roll that.
Wait,
all right.
First, a word from our sponsor. Time for a word from our sponsor, Raycon. Now, you're seeing Jake here try on the new open earbuds. They've been out for a little while now, and I got sent them quite a number of months ago, actually. And I've been using them really regularly because they're kind of you can use them for a lot of different things, but the main thing I think you'd use them for is like exercise. Because instead of having like an earbud in your ear that kind of like feels a bit uncomfortable and sweaty or whatever, this one sits like on top of your ear, and it kind of clips behind really snugly. Because a lot of the time when I was exercising, the earbuds would just kind of fall out because of the impact while I was running or something. But because these clip in behind, they stay on perfectly. And because they're not in your ear when you're sweating, it doesn't feel really gross, and they don't get drenched and whatever else. So I've had a really good experience with them. I think they're perfect for exercise. I really love them for that, actually. You guys haven't had a chance to check them out yet, have you?
No, I just got mine today. So I am thrilled because every time I go traveling, actually every night I fall asleep listening to podcasts, and I'm traveling and I'll be sharing a room with someone, and I hate sleeping with earbuds in overnight. It's just very uncomfortable. And so I just tried these on. I'm like kind of stoked to do that. Even on the plane. It's like, just like being able to rest my head against something and not feel it kind of sticking in my ear.
For sure.
I'm excited.
In terms of, go on, Jake.
I was going to say 36 hours of battery life.
Yep.
Huge. All the features, all the good stuff you expect from Raycon, which also means, what we've said before. Raycon sponsored this, and they've sponsored us before, right? They make great gifts. They're easy. They're great for like somebody's first pair of earbuds, or if you're just looking for a backup pair. They're a win-win, and they have a bunch of different. They have a bunch of different options and like types, but the open earbuds are, like you said, pretty cool. I'm into the open earbud thing now.
For sure, because I guess it's very common to have earbuds that go in, and there's lots of different brands and whatever else. This style is less common, and so I hadn't actually tried something like this before they sent it to me. And then when I tried it, I was like, whoa, okay, they're really and like, sometimes I actually just kind of leave them in. Like if I do a call or whatever, like I'll use them, and then I'll just kind of leave them on for a little bit because they're, again, because I don't have something jammed in my ear. They're just really comfortable. And so then like, I'll get another call later on, or I'll listen to some music. And I don't know, the comfort factor is really great. The convenience factor is great. And I think especially if you're active and you need some outdoor stuff, they're great. And because it's Raycon, it's very affordable. It's one of those kind of like, it's an impulse purchase that you don't feel super guilty about because you're like, yeah, well, I'm doing some exercise and my earbuds aren't working for me. This would be a really good thing to check out, I think. So if you'd like to do so, what's the deal, Lucy? Where can the people get them?
Well, Black Friday is around the corner, and Raycon audio products are up to 30% off site-wide. So it's from everyday essentials to the latest releases. It's a perfect time to upgrade your sound or get ahead on buying some gifts for the holidays. So shop them now before they're gone. If you head to buyraycon.com/friendsopen to save on Raycon audio products site-wide. Thank you so much to Raycon for sponsoring this episode.
Hey, what's the code again? Is it
Friends Open? buyraycon.com/friendsopen.
/friendsopen. Okay, cool. Awesome. Thanks, Raycon.
All right. So we're coming here pretty much right after the announcement that you guys have sold 1 million copies in 10 days. That's crazy. How are you guys feeling? How's the team feeling with this?
That was a lie. We just made that up to make everybody like us.
Nice.
No, I mean, it feels like a lie. I mean, it's kind of unbelievable to us, to be honest. I'm still a bit numb. I don't know how Pierre's feeling, but I'm like, we're still releasing things too, so it's hard to kind of bask or appreciate this stuff. But yeah, it's incredible. It blew away our expectations.
And I am trying to brighten my screen so you can see my face while we do this. I hate that you took the word I was going to use, because numb has been the way I've been describing it. I think part of it too is we are episodic, so we are still got to land the plane and make sure that we give folks a satisfying conclusion as they're anticipating.
So in terms of that, you guys are very much in the trenches. Are you watching reactions to people in real time, or are you just kind of head down grinding?
Yeah, we're watching everything. Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, we're there's always a stream running on a second monitor, probably at everyone in our studio. But yeah, so I mean, some of that is just because we're curious. We want to watch people's reactions, but some of that is also there are little tweaks and things we can do, if they're not reacting the way we thought they would to this moment or to this character, and there are some levers we have that we can kind of pull to kind of course correct the way we were hoping it would go. But pretty much everything is locked. We're doing those kind of final fixes at the end.
And definitely trying to identify bugs. There's still some stat stuff that's been driving us all crazy that we're trying to figure out. So that's the live development, I guess. The episodic model does feel like it a little bit like an early access in some ways too, because we're still ironing some stuff out and getting patches out as quickly as possible.
Not technical side, but just reaction side. Has anything totally thrown you guys for a loop or surprised you in the process? We're halfway through the game, so
yeah. Yeah, I mean,
everything is everything the answer.
A lot that surprised us.
Really?
I mean, we play tested this at the beginning of the year, kind of with the story pretty much in the state that it is in now, and it was just kind of the visuals weren't all the way there, and so we got a lot of data. We got over 100 people playing, and we're looking at the choices they're making and how they're reacting to certain events and characters. And honestly, that group of people, maybe the sample size wasn't big enough, behave differently than what the world at large is doing right now. I think some of that is this meta layer of we have these weekly installments, and so everyone stops at the same time and they all talk online. There's people in the chat, they're saying they're convincing each other of theories, they're pushing narratives, and if everyone was in their own bubble, maybe they wouldn't kind of all have that hive mind, conclusion that they reach. But I think it's affecting how people are playing the game. So it's interesting.
I think similarly, I don't want to speak for people who just don't like our game. There's plenty of folks out there that won't. But I think that kind of was an issue with early reviews too. Folks that gave us early review scores, they kind of played it on their own and didn't feel the energy of it, and I think that's really benefited, at least with folks that we're seeing online.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think of almost like television, where now sometimes entire seasons are dropped instantly, and then other seasons are dropped episode by episode, and especially when there's that cultural hook to it, it really does kind of transform the conversation, but also the feel around the game. So that's interesting.
No, I think it's interesting seeing people reacting to. This is one of the unique things about games, right? Is like you can actually watch your audience react to plot points and whether a joke worked, and that's like one of the most like gratifying things I think about it. Is like you kind of do this thing in a bubble, and then you instantly are like confronted with like someone who does not care that you're watching and is just going to react to all the hard work that our team's been doing. And that, I think, and for it to work, for someone to laugh at the joke, for someone to feel moved or tap into maybe some of the, it's like a comedy, but the tone I think is a little bit interesting, right? Because it's kind of a mix of all sorts of things. We have sad moments, we have happy moments, like somber bits. Like Robert's not like the happiest guy in the world, but we're making a comedy that's way more like BoJack. Another Aaron Paul show like that, and seeing people like vibe with it has been really cool.
I'm definitely vibing with it. The Mumford and Sons joke hit really well. That was a good one.
I
was
don't
like,
see
bravo.
that hit with a lot of people, so I'm glad it.
Yeah, no, that worked for me. So I don't know what it is, but I do want to kind of rewind a little bit. Ad Hoc, the studio. Just if you guys can give us, like the audience, like a layman's tale of how exactly it came about, because I know it is a little complicated, at least when you just look it up. So how do you guys explain it?
I'm trying to think what the short version is. Basically, we're companies co-founded by 4 ex-Telltale developers, 2 writers, 2 directors. 2018, we had left Telltale prior, and some of us went to Ubisoft, and Michael, our CEO, went to Night School Studios, who made Oxen Free and a bunch of other cool indie games. And eventually, we all kind of came back together and decided to start Ad Hoc. The very first thing we did was write a script for Dispatch, or Pierre wrote a script for Dispatch, and it was intended for a live action version. So we were actually going to make, like, with flesh and blood actors, basically a low budget superhero TV show that was interactive. Right when we were going to step onto a set, it was March 2020, and we discovered that we were, a virus was discovered and we were in a pandemic and everything got shut down. So that killed those dreams. Probably for the best now, though, I think, because it wouldn't have been what it is now.
So it would have been like almost like an FMV style game. Like,
yeah.
Wow.
I mean, at the time, Bandersnatch had sort of hit. So it was a little bit in the conversation and it didn't feel quite as weird. We actually had something we could point towards. And obviously, like, companies like Wales Interactive have been putting out stuff every year, for a while now. But we definitely got lucky because our budget at the time
was like $5 million.
Was so much less.
Which is low for a superhero thing. Like, absolutely. Yeah.
It would have looked like it would have looked terrible. Yeah. And I think also just the script definitely changed over time. I think at the time, at that point, we were looking at very broad reach. And I think when we took the project back eventually, it's now landed in something that we thought was maybe less broad, but seems to be appealing to a pretty wide audience still. But it certainly didn't have Mumford and Sons jokes in it the first time around.
Was the cast locked then, though? Did that change, or?
No, we were going out to folks and we were kind of courting our star. At the time, it wasn't Aaron Paul wasn't even anywhere near, who we were going to be able to get at the time. So but it was, we were in casting essentially when it collapsed.
Weirdly, the one person that did overlap with that cast, though, was Laura Bailey. We wanted to bring her on. We were actually, even at that time, weren't sure which role she'd play, but we're like, hey, if you want to do this, we've worked with you in the past. It might be a cool thing.
Yeah, at the time.
Yeah, strangely.
Yeah.
That's smart. That's good. In terms of Dispatch, whether it was, first going to be live action game, what was like that first kernel of the idea? How did that come about? Like, what was that initial pitch? What was that, like lightning bolt? What was it?
No, I mean, it was actually a pivot. We had put about 6 months into another idea, and we were kind of trying to figure out what made it work, and we were failing. And so we were like, we already have this great script that we wrote for this other thing. Why don't we like build on something that we like and that we already have kind of an understanding of?
Do you mind if I ask, was that Wolf Among Us 2 or was that separate?
No, it was another project, our own internal thing.
Secret project. Cool.
Yeah. But but stepping back further to like the impetus of Dispatch, I think it did start out as like mashing up like just the most popular things on Earth, you know, like at the time, like just thinking about it, like because we were thinking about this as a live action thing, we knew that we were going to have to control on budget. So it being a superhero thing, but while maintaining an office sort of feel, meant that we could shoot mostly in an office and maybe figure out a clever way to, you know, watch the superhero stuff happening through like surveillance cameras, right? That then you have a little bit more leeway
of film and grain and things that we could hide some cheap VFX behind.
100%. And just like some visual like comps at that point were like old Sports Center commercials, you know, like where you just have people in an office and then dudes in sports uniforms look like superheroes kind of in a way. And then certainly mascots and like the things that they would have in those and just the antics. I think that was the initial impetus. And I think the tone of the show also initially was kind of more in that like, what's the caper? What's the problem of the week? Someone's microwaving weird stuff, you know, in the break room. Like it was that kind of thing. It was a lot more like episodes. It
was more one-on-one. Like the Z team didn't exist. It was like we basically like chose. It was like I think a choice between like Invisigal, Waterboy, and that giant cat that you see in the background of all of like a bunch of shots.
Mr. Whiskey.
His name is Mr. Whiskey, just so you know. It's not a thing that people know. But
it's a good name.
Yeah, and it was just like it was a mentorship thing where you're working with one person and you kind of chose who you wanted to do that with. And yeah, it was like Pierre said, it was like we have one problem, let's try to solve it every episode.
When you jumped into it, you know, being a full-fledged game, what did you guys want to do differently this time around? Like obviously you guys have had your hands in Telltale games, you know, The Walking Dead, Wolf Among Us, all those things. Gameplay wise, was there a different approach this time?
Nick hates free walk. We'll talk about that now.
Okay, that's very interesting. Yeah, okay, because that's what I felt like playing this. I was like, oh, they scrapped that completely.
Yeah. I mean, it was something I wasn't having. I mean, I worked at Telltale for 10 years. I was a cinematic artist. I had to set up all those scenes where you're walking around, you're clicking on things, you're talking like. I probably have like a larger disdain for them than most people, but I also just felt like it was just getting in the way of the story progressing. I always feel like you walk into a room, it's like, oh, now I got to go click on all the things to figure out what progresses us to the next cutscene. So we weren't racing towards it. It wasn't an agenda item to like cross it off, but basically one of the things that made the decision for us was we wanted to have like the biggest pillar was let's make sure that this looks evergreen, to use the word Pierre pulls out all the time. Like we want when people look at our show or our game and think it's a show and it looks so good that in 10 years people will look at it and go, yeah, that still looks great. And that became just this like pillar that like if anything got in the way of that, then it's getting scrapped. And one of the things that did was fully 3D walking around, camera moves, now you got to worry about like performance and rendering and all this shit. And we were just like, fuck it, we don't need it. Let's figure something else out. And so that's what we did.
I also think that, and I mean, like, I do think that is a huge, when you're trying to sell like a cinematic experience, it does feel oftentimes like a huge pacing hit, right? Like whenever you would hit those points. And I think even in the Telltale era, there was a lot of times that it felt like almost like filler for the sake of it, on occasion. So it wasn't even like we would find ourselves like, well, I just want to move. I just need to do something on the controller. So then someone would put together something and it just wouldn't feel like curated in the manner that you would want. And it's also just kind of a disconnect as well. Like, I think what's cool about what we're doing now is it feels like that those transitions from the sort of cinematic elements of it to the gameplay elements, like you feel like, well, I'm Robert. I'm still Robert, role-playing as Robert. And I just sat down and I'm doing my job and I'm still interacting with the characters that I interacted with in the cutscene. But it feels like very connected and one-to-one, like between the player and the character.
Is there a technical description for the layman in terms of how seamless it does feel. Like I noticed that immediately, like just the animation, the way it flows from gameplay. Like the older games you guys referenced, they did feel like you could see the seams, you could see where things change here and there. How did you guys get that so smooth this time?
Animation studio that works for Netflix, like usually, like getting that high quality and being able to match cut to things like really cleanly.
Yeah, also programmers who are good at their jobs and make sure there are no loads and make everything seamless. And yeah, I mean it's probably a boring answer, but it is just a lot of work to make sure that it feels seamless. Yeah.
Is it something with the way this game is now built? Is it something that you could see you guys porting to like iPad or Android or something like that?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's safe to say that the game has been successful enough to where we now know there's demand, and now we can, afford to do that kind of stuff. But this is kind of our first time doing anything, and it was a weird thing that we hadn't really seen anyone else do before. So it seems to be resonating with folks. So yeah, we want to reach everybody if we can.
Now that you've cooked on this and you've kind of laid the groundwork here, are you guys already thinking about your next project? You got something in the works or what?
Yeah, we have an announced project with Critical Role, a partner of ours. But I also think that there's probably we're gonna have to at least think about season 2 now. Like, and nice. that was a question mark 3 weeks ago. So so that's very, very cool. It's a very cool problem to have.
It is this studio now, like, are you guys thinking more your IP or, once again, kind of working with existing IP, a mix of both? Where are you at?
I mean, I think we're open to everything. Sorry, but I would love to, like, we spent a lot of our careers making a lot of money growing people's IPs. And I think the way that we did it too, like, we often would kind of tell stories within an IP without necessarily like just tracing over it, So I think we actually added a lot of value to a lot of stuff. I think Wolf Among Us, I think a lot of Wolf fans ended up buying Fables, but I don't know that.
Did.
Yeah, and I think that's an example of like a project where we're like, well, how do we make this something that we're super into? Because I'm not super into fairy tales as a human, but I am into noir, crime, gritty 80s, like dramas, So I mean, I think that was a way to add to the franchise and see it accepted by like groups of people who might not have picked up that comic. And I think I would love to keep doing that for ourselves and not have to. But there are some like white whale kind of IPs that are out there that I know that we all have that I think we would really consider working on, including working with Critical Role.
Yeah, speaking of Critical Role, and kind of side from that, content creators, like working with, like you have like Jacksepticeye, Alana Pierce, Moist Critical. Like, how did that come about? Was that like something you guys were like, we're going to do this right away, or did it like kind of organically come up over time?
I watched a lot of Moist Critical during the pandemic. It was kind of the first time I understood why people watch streamers, if I'm honest, like as someone who works in game dev, like we watch streamers for the reason of having a sense of like how people are reacting to something, but it wasn't something I did very much. But then during the pandemic, I kind of got that feeling of like, oh, okay, people watch streamers because it feels like hanging out with your friends playing video games. And that is a thing that I really, really miss right now. And it's really nice and comforting. And I think I just thought Charlie was funny. And we also thought that like he had a great voice. And there was a couple other folks that we really liked. And the ability to like, I think a thing that people are unwilling to see, and it's changing since we cast streamers, is viewing streamers as just celebrities. So in the same way that like you would cast a celebrity for anything, like fucking Haktua Girl has like appearances in TV shows, right? So like if that can happen, like why not like someone who's actually funny and has a rad voice, and that extended out to a lot of the folks that we added to our cast.
And it was, like I think you kind of only see the people obviously that we cast, but another way to look at it is we basically have hours and hours and hundreds of hours of essentially audition reel material where we can listen to them. We can go, oh, this is interesting. Like, I wonder if they fit this, or like, here's a clip of them getting really frustrated. Like, is that what Sonar sounds when he gets frustrated? You know, it's like you could start to kind of do that behind the scenes, kind of pre-vet this stuff. Whereas going out and getting open, you know, auditions and stuff like that, it's a whole different process, which of course we did on this project as well. But it's just a different kind of way of going about casting. And we, you know, I think we knew pretty early on that we were going to have one or two kind of Hollywood people involved. And we didn't want this to feel, we didn't want it to look like, you know, we're doing like weird, dumb, like, oh, we're just casting this guy because he's famous and everyone's now going to buy our game. Weirdly bringing in streamers is an attempt to also kind of like mash those two things together and say like, no, this is a blend of games, TV, you know, film. Like it's a weird product already. So let's, you know, embrace that in the casting, and then also have people who, you know, you already know from the VO world, like Laura and Travis. And so we just kind of wanted to mash it all together because we thought that would be interesting. And you know, I'll say I was definitely worried about it. Pierre had a little bit more confidence, but I think now everyone sees this stuff. It's obvious.
We also had the benefit, I think we had the benefit too of like, the roles weren't massive initially, or we kind of like grew the roles based on people's abilities, and everyone just was able to step up. You know, that was another, at least piece of it that we had. We brought them in for auditions too, you know, so it was like definitely like, hey, I don't know if this will work, but like, hey, if you're interested and we're interested in seeing if it'll work. And then I think it worked extremely well. I think we ended up adding more and more lines for the characters as we went along, as we saw that they could handle it, you know.
Mm-hmm. I think it totally
worked. Like Jacksepticeye too is like just a dude that has always been a Telltale fan, so he was always on the list of folks that we were watching streams of when we were releasing back in the Telltale era too. So like, and he just obviously has a great voice and a great personality. So that was another thing that he was an easy one too for us.
Yeah, I think it worked out really well. I wasn't sure. I was like, oh, that's interesting. But I think they all did a great job. I also think Sonar, from a design standpoint, is so fucking cool. I just love like the concept of him, the way he looks, everything.
Sonar was a one-off joke in the original script. It was just there for that scene where he's like screaming. And so he was just a weird bat guy in the background of a scene. And then when we were building out the Z team, we were just needed ideas. And so he got plucked and made a main character.
Yeah. I think it's interesting seeing people's reaction to the stuff now, because I think before we came out, or at least before there was any sort of like fanfare around the project, there was a lot of hate of just like, what are you doing? Why are you casting these people? And I think there's probably also some trepidation from some of the streamers themselves, where they're like, did I make a fool of myself? Like, is this thing going to be any good? Like, is this a real project? You know, because I'm sure they get approached all the time for certain things. And I mean, and I think that when they play, I think it's interesting watching like Charlie play through the first time, because it's like, it feels like, oh, I see him getting excited about a thing that he spent like 2 years thinking about and working
2 years
on.
Being
and
worried
it's really
that
cool.
it was going to suck, that we were going to suck, that he was going to suck, you know?
Yeah. So that feels really good.
Yeah. You can see his butt unclench live.
It's great.
It's great.
It's off camera though. It's off camera.
I would hope. Yeah. So you have episode 5 and 6 have dropped. For the remainder of the episodes, you guys have any like last words you want to say to people to prepare themselves for the rest of it?
Hold on to your butts.
Hold on to your butts.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic. All right.
No, I mean, all the things I could say, are not from a confident position. I'm still anxious, man. I know we sold all this shit. I don't know what people are going to think. Like we tried our best, guys. we're a small indie company doing this shit for the first time. I'm glad people are liking it, but also as the hype has gotten bigger, it's like, chill out.
More pressure.
Calm. Like, everybody's need to calm down. People are really horny. It's like in ways that we weren't anticipating, and it's I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope the plan wins.
I'll say the opposite of that. I'd say thank you, fans, for making all your horny videos. We watch all your horny videos.
We do.
It's honestly, it's truly like I've definitely been moved like quite a few times in public places where people are like, oh, this person must be going through it. But in actuality, I'm like really happy seeing the amount of creativity out there that the project is inspiring. And I think like some of the themes of it resonating with people, and some of the messages that we received have been so sweet. And like, it's just like, honestly, like overwhelming, the support that the project's receiving. And yeah, I think that certainly increases the pressure of wanting to make good on people's investment of their time and their fandom. And I think we're also in a weird place where, we sold a lot of units, but I actually think that the amount of fans of Dispatch, because of streaming, because of like YouTube, is actually like orders of magnitude larger than our sales numbers. And that is such a strange place to be, because during the Telltale era, I think people thought of streamers as like, oh, well, people are streaming it, so no one's going to buy it, or this is bad for us because they can see everything.
Feeding off
they're taking away.
Yeah.
No, they're making more money off of this game than I did, which was true in many cases. Early on, we weren't getting paid great at Telltale when we started. And now we're sort of like, it's just reaching. We just want people to find it. Like I see comments where people are like, I can't afford this now. It's like, well, just hang out, chill out, watch it with your favorite streamer. Like, all good. You know what I mean? Like, come meet us where you are. Like, we're not worried about that aspect of it anymore. Certainly not now, and I think that we're happy for people to just enjoy it in whatever way they want to. And I think it's created like this kind of cozy, like it's almost like TV on Twitch, which you can't do because it gets taken down. So I think it's filling a thing that people are asking for them. And I think streamers are finding that their audiences are vibing with it. And I think that's really awesome.
Yeah. I think the other kind of the win is I know there are people out there who still hate the episodic model, but it was a gamble for us. We felt pretty strongly that the episodic thing, that like it has a purpose. There is value in waiting. There's value in the discussion and the time in between. And I know, it can be kind of criticized as like artificial hype or whatever, but that's the most pessimistic way to look at it. Like, we literally, like, this experience that people are getting to have now, it was the plan. Like, we were hoping that this would pay off, and seeing streamers and seeing people get it and like appreciate it. Like, obviously when you finish the last episode of a set, there's that sort of disappointment. You can't play the next one, but there's the excitement of being able to, come back, be with the crew, be with the people that you just shared this experience with again in a week, and kind of have those shared moments. I think is working, and yeah, I think people see what we're going for.
I certainly want it. Yeah. They wouldn't be complaining if they didn't want it. So that's definitely cool too.
That's a good point. Well, Nick, Pierre, thank you so much. Good luck with the rest of it. I'm a huge fan, so keep doing what you're doing.
This is beef, by the way.
That's
no way.
Looks nothing like the real beef. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, good. Finally, a dog on this damn podcast. No one else does. Thank you, guys. Good luck with the rest of it, and maybe we'll talk again soon.
Awesome.
Thanks, dude.
Cheers.
Appreciate you.
Hey, this podcast is sponsored by Factor. Now, this fall always feels like a reset, right? Like back to school, schedules changing, the season, like the leaves changing depending on where you live. And a reset can also come with your dietary habits. And that's where Factor can really help out. If you don't know, Factor delivers fresh, never frozen, dietitian approved meals right to your doorstep. And they're delicious. They heat up in like the microwave in like 2 minutes or so, and you're good to go, right? Tons of options.
Yes.
Luce, what have you been eating lately?
I really love the pork chops. Anything that comes with the cheddar grits, that's my favorite. They are so good. Oh my God. But the thing I'm most excited about is because for the first time, they're doing Asian-inspired meals with flavors inspired by China, Thailand, and more. That is my bag.
That's what I usually eat. So this is good. I actually today I had the miso chicken over like quinoa. Mm-hmm. And I'm not usually a big quinoa guy, but like when it has a little bit of like a miso kind of Asian style to it, it's delicious. Really, really good.
Yeah. So there's a bunch as well of GLP-1 friendly meals. There's a new Mediterranean diet option. So lots of good proteins and good fats. The thing, and yeah, like you mentioned it, they're super easy, really great, like tasty sounding recipes. I want to get through as many of them as I possibly can. And it's just nice to, the nights are getting longer. The clocks changed here last week, and I'm coming home from work and it's dark, and that sucks. And the last thing I kind of want to do is I just want to be on the couch. I just want to hibernate myself. And so if I don't want to be cooking, I just want to throw it in there and have something delicious at the end of it. So
yeah,
shout out to
Factor. It makes it super easy, so easy. Like, and the fact that they have so many options, also for like all different types of, your diet preference. If you need more protein, if you're vegetarian, if you need to cut calories, they have a lot of options. You can change them on the fly. So it's definitely worth checking out. Just eat smart at factormeals.com/FPS50off and use code FPS50off to get 50% off your first box. Plus, get this, free breakfast for 1 year. That's code FPS50off when you go to factormeals.com for 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year.
Incredible. So get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor. And of course, the offer is only valid for new Factor customers with the code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. Thank you so much to Factor for sponsoring this episode. All right, and we're back with a user question. This one is from Ryan. Hey all, my name is Ryan. I am from St. George, Utah. I want Lucy to know that I'm always pausing/rewinding to see Jelly on screen and showing my wife, who I always ask, who looks more jelly, Lucy's cat or our Jelly? And while your Jelly is quite jelly, we think our Jelly's your Jelly. Please see references attached. That's
excellent.
This very cute picture.
Is this his photo? All right, I want to see a comparison though.
Another Jelly.
Can I see OG Jelly?
Can you see her down there?
Thank you, Ryan, for sending a photo of your cat. That's very cool.
Yeah, that's
just the little things in life.
That's why I get to pick the.
Okay.
I'll put this picture.
This other Jelly has a cat tree as well.
Well, mine do not, because I sold it because they didn't give a solitary shit about it. This is my Jelly.
Okay. Your Jelly doesn't look very friendly. Your Jelly.
So yeah,
my Jelly is distinctly more orange.
Okay, yeah. No,
Ryan's
Jelly looks distinguished and wizened.
Totally.
And what does my Jelly look like?
Yours looks like it's going to be like on a horror poster for a movie.
She literally just got up. She got up. And I'm wearing her.
She's upset now. She's like, what did you fucking say about me, huh? Say it to my face, bitch.
Wow, she jumped up on command. Look at that. That's impressive.
Hey. Yeah, she heard you talking shit.
Yeah, sorry, Jelly. I apologize. I'll never say it again.
That's a good story. Thank you for sharing.
Yes,
thank you for the photos. Cool. Appreciate it.
So the question, there is a question there. Okay. I tend to gravitate to easy, fun multiplayer games like Battlefield 6, Destiny 2, and Risk of Rain when I have the opportunity to play. I was never introduced to JRPGs or PC-focused games like RTS or MOBA until adulthood. I've enjoyed some story-heavy titles like Expedition 33, God of War, and Horizon Zero Dawn, usually dialing down the difficulty to easy/story, as I found I'm not very good at video games broadly. I wish I had a more rounded palette and experienced many of the old times of video games, but have quit most games because I could not get past early checks in the game, like in Mass Effect, Batman Arkham, and Elden Ring. Are there any games you wished to have experienced but are not good enough to complete? And then, are there any games I should give a second or third shot at? I know Expedition 33 wouldn't have the same impact if I had just watched the cutscenes on YouTube, but I have done that just for games like Dispatch and Space Marines too.
Has there ever been a game that I've not been able to complete because I'm not good enough?
Souls-likes.
No. Well, even then, I've been able to complete all of them. Like, they're hard. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like, oh, it's easy, but I'm like, I just push through them sometimes to an unhealthy degree where I'm like, no, I'm not sleeping until I get this done, and it's very destructive. But no. But I will say though that, funnily enough, and I guess I can say this because I'm reviewing Lumines right now, but it is crazy how awful I am at that game. I'm terrible at it, right? Because it requires a certain brain that's like can see that kind of like, you know, the pattern, the numbers, like just can see that stuff, can see the matrix. And my brain absolutely cannot see it. And I'm actually right now, I'm stuck on the easy mode difficulty for like getting through it. Cause one of these levels is kicking my ass so hard. And there's these challenge missions you can do as well, where I'm just like, I'm so bad at them, you know, and I guess I understand my own limitations of my own brain. So if you give me a Souls-like boss, I will beat it. If you want me to compete in a shooter, I can do it. But if you give me a puzzle game, my brain is almost certainly going to short circuit. It's not going to happen. So I feel that big time. I honestly have been very humbled by Luminous. I'll put it in a way that like Souls-like games do not humble me in the same way that Luminous is currently humbling me. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, not because it's hard. It's purely because like I look at what's going on screen and I'm like, I know the kind of brain that would be able to be good at this, and I don't have that brain, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So, yeah.
Are you holding magic cards?
Yeah, you're just waving
I just
deck.
I just shuffle these, just like some random cards. I actually have been shuffling these for months. These cards are so beat up because I just hold on to them and they're totally destroyed and all like frayed around the edges and shit.
They're just practice cards.
I probably held up like a $4,000 card. No, I did this. Look these up. The reason these are in this pile is because they're not worth anything, so it's fine. It's safe.
Jake,
anyway,
what about
that's
you?
me.
For me, yeah, it's like certain Souls. Like I've finished some of them, but I actually realized fighting games. I really like them. I really like a lot of fighting games, especially like my job. It's exposed me to even more of them. And I realize how so many of them are great and they have all these fun nuances and obviously like incredible characters. And like even growing up, just being like aware of Mortal Kombat and kind of playing that and knowing Tekken and Virtua Fighter and all these things, Street Fighter, all these things. I can only just play like against the computer or play the little like tower arcade mode against, you know, the AI. That's it. I literally, anytime I pick up a controller against someone else, I can't hack it. And you need a lot of time invested in that stuff. And you also need people to play with. And I never had that. So it's partially a skill issue and partially a friendship issue. But yeah.
Oh.
Soul Calibur is the best. Like Soul Calibur is fucking so awesome, and I wish I could play to the
Yoda
level that people play.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yoda versus Link. Yeah, it's cool shit.
Yeah. I
don't mind me. I mean, there are certainly some Souls games I've certainly struggled with, but I think like I struggled more with Dark Souls than I struggled with Bloodborne, Sekiro, or Elden Ring. Dark Souls 3 I was so into, and then the Twin Princes. I cannot stand those little fuckers because one of them heals the other one, and it's just a pain in the ass. And then
that's like those skin freaks from Elden Ring, those fucking gross guys.
Godskin duos.
Yeah,
with their flaying swords. They were annoying, but I had a magic build, so I basically, you know, that's Elden Ring on easy mode as being a magic build, especially early doors. Games that you should give another try. I mean, I'll try Mass Effect now in the Legendary Edition. I'm pretty sure they redid all the difficulty stuff. They certainly made everything a lot more streamlined, particularly in 1. Honestly, you could skip it and go to 2, which is more of an action game, and easy on 2 and 3 is very easy.
Should you skip Mass Effect 1 though?
If you really, really cannot get through it, gameplay wise.
Yeah, then two picks up as a good for definitely.
2 has a very good fresh open.
Definitely.
So I think you could. I mean, Batman Arkham is great. I will always recommend. But no.
I mean, I would say also too, he didn't mention it, maybe he's looked, but like look for accessibility settings. Don't be afraid to mess around with those because you know, even if you may not need accessibility or be disabled, you can still take advantage of those and no one cares.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think accessibility settings has sort of like crossed over now. I think more people are using them as difficulty settings, which is fine. You know, I think they started out as being so that people with disabilities could play more, but I think now more people are just like, you know what? I also just like to not have to worry about X, Y, and Z things. I'm going to turn that shit on, you know? So
I'll never do a quick time event again. Oh, no, hang on. I will never
do. Where you have to mash the button really fast.
I will never do that again. I will always hold. It does take some of the impact off when you're just sat there going like,
when you're like when you're in Indigo Prophecy and at the end of the game and you're doing that fucking like Dragon Ball Z fight, just so locked in on those stupid QuickTime events, man. What a time.
Like Metal Gear Solid or something, but
David Cage games without QuickTime events, baby. What do you got? Nothing. You're a Telltale game at that point.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
So thank you, Ryan and Jelly, for your question. I think my jelly's still our jelly's your jelly. We've got a second question. This one's from Oscar. Remember, you can email us, contact@friendspersecond.com, or reply, or go to the newsletter and comment section. Hi, friends. I always wish to share my passion for gaming with the people in my life, but have struggled to do so with people wholly unfamiliar with the media form. For example, my mom loves the ocean and its creatures, but when I tried to play Abzu with her, the 3D movement and camera controls were a foreign language and she noped out quickly. What are some great games that even the have to look at the controller before pushing button crowd can enjoy while whetting their appetite for further expeditions? Thanks for your help and the great listening. I will say, before I get into the answer, quick recommend on a video you should absolutely watch. I think it's by Rasputin, and it is playing video games with someone who has never played games before, and he gives his wife a bunch of different games, and she has not grown up with the language of, you know, you're playing Mario, you move to the right of the screen, or you see a gap, you jump. She doesn't know how to do any of that, and so he gives her all these games like Super Mario Brothers, Dark Souls, Breath of the Wild, and just to see how she sees it. It's a really good. I think he did a follow-up. Yes, he did a follow-up because I think she actually became a bit of a gamer after that, or at least played a few. So quick recommend there. What games are truly the baby games?
I have a couple go-tos, but a big one is a racing game. Easy to understand, very straightforward. The
Mario Kart kind of thing.
Yeah.
No, fucking like Forza, where you want to, because I also, when I show people, like I want to melt people's brains at the same time. Right. So it's like, yeah, look at that, grandma. That's a real car on the screen. Watch this. And then but the concept is very easy. Like the camera is fixed. It's behind you. So they don't have to manage the camera. They have to worry about brake, accelerate, and then moving the joystick. So you can start slow, kind of like a driving lesson. And that kind of helps. I've gotten a couple people with that.
Okay. Well, I mean, Kirby Air Riders, when it comes out, only has 2 buttons to press because the car moves automatically. So,
is it a car?
Machine, they call it.
Aren't they flying on clouds? I don't know anything about Kirby Air Riders.
I did a thing at work about it, and I was like watching it, and I was like, huh, all right.
I feel like the bigger barrier when, like, if someone doesn't play many games is not like, oh, you have to look at the controller. I think it's more like what is stopping them from being interested in video games and what might get their interest. Right. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think if someone, like my brother's girlfriend never really played games, but she's kind of just started recently. And she's playing like The Last of Us or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like she's into that sort of shit now. And again, that's like a pretty challenging game for someone who's never really played games before. But it's just because she's like interested in the story and the characters, and she's like really obsessed with it. In fact, right? So,
okay, cool.
I would say I wouldn't underestimate someone's ability to be able to pick up a set of controls pretty quickly for most games. Like obviously, if you hand them Valorant, they're going to struggle. Okay, but if you hand them Mario, they're probably going to be okay with it. And if you hand them, I don't know, like I'd say a majority of games are pretty intuitive with their control schemes these days. It's really about like what's going to pique their interest. Like what do you know about them that might be a hook? You know, maybe it's like they have a kid and like here's a co-op game you could play with your kid. Like you should play Split Fiction or About Time or whatever. Not About Time. Oh my God, I do a total blank. About Time's that movie.
Yeah.
No, the other Joseph Harris one.
A Way Out.
No.
Brothers of Taylor
Split Fiction.
It Takes Two.
Split Fiction. No, what's the other one?
It Takes Two.
It Takes Two.
It Takes Two. Oh my God. Why did I call it About Time?
Brain
I had
fart. It happens.
Complete mental breakdown.
But that's the thing. So Oscar said like their mom is interested in the ocean, but the 3D movement and the camera controls for Abzu weren't like if I guess like
that's tricky because Abzu has
Echo
a lot
the
of
Dolphin
baby
on the Mega Drive. Echo the Dolphin on the Mega Drive is going to be the go-to for sure. Like Dave the Diver, then, for example, which is a 2D, 2D ocean exploration game with life sim elements where you run a sushi shop. That is fantastic. But I don't know, like I just
Journey, you know, it seems
that has the same 3D camera stuff though.
Yeah, similar, but I mean, all you're doing is
Animal Crossing because you can get a lot, right? It's like simple movement. The camera follows you. Controls are very simple, and then also like showing someone kind of like the quirks and like addictive nature of a video game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, did I tell you guys my niece's little Animal Crossing story? I felt so bad.
Oh boy.
I bought them a Switch. I bought them a Switch for Christmas last year.
Okay.
Because I'm a
You're the cool aunt.
You're a cool aunt.
And got them Animal Crossing, and they didn't want to share an island. And because of the unique way in which Animal Crossing works, every time they would swap over on the hour, they would delete the other one's island and start the whole game again.
Oh no. Wait, don't you have individual profiles on the Switch and you just switch profile and that switches save files? Doesn't that work that way?
I mean, I wasn't in the country, so I couldn't.
Yeah, so whatever the hell they were doing.
I think
and also the younger one at that point also couldn't read.
Oh, that's so sad. Such a bummer.
Going through the whole time.
You have to read immediately.
It's like you gotta read. Anyway, they both play a lot of games now. It's really nice.
That builds character. I had my my when I got a PlayStation 2, I had saved up and I got a PlayStation 2 bundle, the Gran Turismo 3 bundle for PlayStation 2, but I didn't have enough money for a memory card. So I basically just had to enjoy the game with the shit cars you start out with, like a Mazda sedan and like the PT Cruiser, and I was just like, this game is revolutionary, but I could never unlock the good cars because I had no memory card.
Oh my God.
Miserable experience.
Them's were the days, though. Them's were the days.
I do have one other, like, at least for like kind of related. This is like a step up more when you have someone who can like roughly handle like very basic video games. I had a period where I was showing people Spider-Man, Insomniac Spider-Man, because it's a fun way to have people kind of figure it out on their own with light coaching, because it's kind of like when Spider-Man starts swinging in the Sam Raimi movie, where it's like, okay, jump and swing. And then he's like, press it again. Like, so it's kind of like you coach people through it in that same way. It's like, okay, you're swinging, let go. Okay, now what are you going to do? Hit the web again. And like, it's very satisfying to watch people get into that rhythm and kind of figure it out and be like, maybe I am Spider-Man. That's cool. That's good.
I would recommend also like a kind of games that are more visual novel-y, like something like a Florence, something that is, can express why video games are so good in terms of telling stories, at least. And if that whets your appetite, maybe try something a little more. Because Florence has, some basic gameplay stuff in there. Or unpacking, Oh, man, that game was great.
Yeah.
So there's like those kind of games like that where it's not necessarily getting to grips with.
More puzzle games,
With 3D,
have you guys ever had somebody in your life that doesn't play video games watch you play a game and just be completely dazzled? Because that's always a fun experience.
Watched. I was playing Mass Effect 2. My mum came in, and my mum is a big Star Trek fan. She sat down, and it was the quest in Mass Effect 2 where you are trying to find Morinth, who is Samara's daughter, and you basically have to chat her up using the things that she likes. Shepard's wearing the sexy dress, and then you can bone. And my mum just sat and watched me play that whole thing.
She was like, I like this.
And I was like, so Shepard's kind of like Kirk, because he just wants to shag everyone. And my mum just was not as impressed as I thought that reasoning was gonna make her. But
if that wasn't gonna do it, then nothing will.
Nothing will. I mean, my dad has definitely, dug things that I've shown him. I was like, look, this is a video game now. Because my dad is the one who got me really into gaming by playing Myst and Quake and Tomb Raider.
Yeah, he had good taste. I love that. Yeah. That's so cool. My father-in-law was watching me when I was reviewing Red Dead Redemption 2, and he had come in, and I literally was like walking through the forest with the deer on my shoulder, and like I put the deer on the horse. I took a swig of my like water. I walked around the horse, hopped on the horse, and rode away. And he's like, wow, so you have to remember like all the buttons to do all that? And I was like, yeah. He goes, wow, that's like a lot. And I'm like, yeah, it is a lot. Yeah, this is really complicated stuff. I'm like a genius. It's like, man. Thanks for gassing me up. Yeah, being a gamer is hard.
It is. Yeah. I haven't got any more.
That's a good question.
Good
I like it.
questions. Thank
Thanks
you
for that.
Good questions. Hey, Jelly. Hey.
Speaking
Well done,
of,
Jelly.
She's gone mental on the chair again. Anyway, should we talk about what we've been playing?
Yes.
Who wants to go first?
I want to hear
Let's talk
about
about
Outer
Outer
Worlds
Worlds
2 from
right.
the Ralph
Let's
take.
do this. I really love this game a lot. And I enjoyed the first one, despite its obvious limitations.
Yeah.
But this one, because as I went through the process, because I'd seen other reviews or whatever, like I'm reviewing it much later than everybody else. And I was like, all the reviews are like, it's basically just Outer Worlds, but bigger and better. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess that sounds fair enough. But like, that's not true, man. Like, that's not true. This is a different game. It is so much more vast in its scale. It is so much better in terms of its core combat mechanics. It is so much more responsive across like most areas, not in a few critical areas, like particularly faction stuff is kind of underbaked, where it doesn't really feel like the faction stuff. Have you finished it, Lucy?
No, I'm still the first 10 hours, but yeah, the faction stuff is the thing that doesn't make me feel,
Well, yeah, it gets better towards the back end, but not by much. Like, it's kind of just you're filling up a progress bar with the factions rather than like truly feeling their impact on the world and the weights of your decisions as aligning with them, or like it's complex to unpack, because the game is actually fairly complex and sophisticated in terms of the number of things that it's doing and the things that it's choosing to not do. And I guess that's kind of what really defines it, which is like, I think this is a game that is much broader than the first one. I don't necessarily know that it's much deeper, right? I think it still kind of sits comfortably at like a surface level, sort of like, it's a bit playful, a bit lighthearted. It's very accessible RPG.
Yeah.
But the number of things that it offers at that top layer is huge now. And there's so many things that you can do in terms of build diversity and perks and flaws and how you want to approach quests and faction alignment stuff. And just there's tons of it, right? But when you drill down a layer deeper and you look at things like companions and you look at the actual, like how static the world is, you look at the faction system, you're like, okay, cool. There are still some limitations here that make it less sophisticated than something like a Baldur's Gate, less organic feeling than something like a Bethesda RPG with its sandbox, less immersive than something like Kingdom Come, right? But still, it's a great game that sits very comfortably at that accessible RPG level. And I look at something like Avowed and I'm like, I didn't like Avowed, man. Like, that was a really basic ass, superficial action game with some light RPG drizzling, okay? But this is a proper RPG. It just happens to be a fairly accessible one. And that doesn't come along very often, I don't think. Like, a lot of the time when we talk about RPGs being accessible, it's like a pejorative. We're like, we want deep RPGs. And like, we do, but it's also possible to make a more accessible RPG that is great. And I think that's what this really nails. Like, this is an extremely accessible RPG that offers a lot of choice and flexibility and just a lot of great stuff. But it's still very accessible. Oh my God.
Like good character building that like it makes you think a little bit different. Like, usually you hop into an RPG and you're like, okay, I'm going to do this. This is the type of thing I roll. And they totally like throw that on its head. So give me a little bit of like, what kind of character did you build?
So I basically started out being like a kind of jerky dude, like I'm just going to be an asshole to everybody.
One might say a jerky boy.
Jerky boy. And I kind of gave up on that because I tested it out and it was working and I could do it, but I was just naturally drawn to a different style of play, basically. The asshole path wasn't paying off for me as much as I would have liked. I think in part because I think the asshole stuff really works when you hear your character say those asshole lines. There's a thing about seeing Shepard deliver a line where he's like, say goodnight, Manuel, and you're like, hell yeah, let's go, right? Like that when you don't, and Geralt as well, like it's the same thing. When you don't have that, it's less impactful, but you can still do it. But eventually I chose the floor where I need to kind of choose, because if anyone doesn't know, by the way, flaws are things that pop up every now and then, and they're a choice that you can make. And they're like a negative modifier on your character, but that also have an upside. So one flaw, for example, is like bad knees, where every time you crouch to sneak, it makes like a loud crunching sound, like because you got bad knees.
That's too real. because that's what happens
It
to
is.
me.
Yeah.
But then you can also crouch, like you move around faster while crouching, for example.
Yeah.
I chose a floor. I got a floor where I basically accepted all of them, bar a couple. And
Because if you accept too many, you get the flawed floor.
Yes,
Yeah.
well, that's an option as well. Like you can turn it down, right? And so I turned that one down because I was accepting so many of them. The flawed floor is one where you need to accept all the flaws that are presented to you no matter what. They're just automatically applied. And like one of the flaws is like a kleptomaniac thing where you can be looking at items in the world and you'll just randomly steal them. And that's really bad if you're in the middle of a settlement, for example, and you're trying to like become friends with these people and you start stealing their shit. So I didn't take that one. But I did take the floor that was like kind of an all-rounder one where I couldn't put points into my very high statted points. I needed to put points into my lower stats first, but I get more total points.
Yeah.
So I kind of had a very spread out build as a result, which was great actually, because I got to experience so many different parts of the game. And I got to, I couldn't open every locked door, but I could open a bunch of them. And I couldn't talk my way out of every situation, but I could talk my way out of a bunch of them. And I got to sample most of the game systems by doing that.
Yeah.
And
it lets you see how well it's constructed and how reactive it is.
Yeah. And there were so many choices. Like there's just every mission presented me so many ways to accomplish it, so many different possible resolutions, so many ways to leverage my build. And that made me feel like the choices that I made meant something, you know? And like just, I don't know, like, and exploration. Like I was on a capital ship at one point. Not a capital ship. So I was in a mental refreshment center. I don't know if you guys know about this one.
Yeah.
But basically, mental refreshment is basically like brainwashing, you know, to make you a more loyal citizen. They give you essentially like a lobotomy, right? And I was just fucking around in there and I managed to find something that I could find because I built a certain way. And it let me access a completely different area that was all blocked off. And there was a major story thing that happened in that area. And I was like, damn, that's cool. And if I hadn't built that way, I wouldn't have seen it. And that was sick, you know? Quite a few examples like that in the game where your choices are rewarded and open up things for you. So yeah, man, I love it. I think it's a great game. I really do.
Did you enjoy the kind of shift from the first one to this one?
Do you think there was a shift?
A little bit. It felt a little more serious this time around. It's still quirky.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was like the factions or just the way it went about things. It was like ever so slightly more serious. And I liked it.
You think?
Okay. Yeah. I guess I can't remember the last one that vividly. I feel like the tone overall felt similar to me. And I think that sort of tone, there's the risk that you just kind of get bored of it because you're like, yeah, okay, we've heard this joke before. Yes, you're evil corporatists. That's very funny, you know? But I found it kind of did that thing where a comedian does a bit and then at the beginning, the bit is funny and then they keep doing it and then it stops being funny, but then they keep doing it and then it becomes funny again. Like that is kind of how, do you know what I mean? Like that is actually how I felt about this game's tone because I do think that it was so relentlessly committed to it that it kind of broke me and won me over. And by the end, I was really on board with like what the factions were doing and they're representing and the tone and also there's some great reveals for those factions at the back end as you start to meet their leadership and it just becomes pretty cool, I think. So, I don't know, man. I think, look, I said in my review, I think Outer Worlds 1 met a reception where it was really very positive at first and then everyone shat on the game after that, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be the kind of the opposite this time around. I think people are going to be like, yeah, that was good. But then I think time will pass and I think people will be like, wait a second.
That was great.
That was actually really good, wasn't it? You know, and I think as more people do repeat playthroughs and really reflect on the experience, like I think it's going to age really well. I think it's Obsidian's like best work in a long time. Admittedly, I didn't play Pentiment, so I can't say, right? I can't compare that. But, you know, this is the kind of game that I was hoping that Obsidian might make. I would like for them to make something bigger and more ambitious and deeper, sure. But they're choosing to make Pentiment, Grounded, Avowed, and this within the space of 2 or 3 years, you know? So they're looking to spread themselves out across different projects. And most of those projects are working really well for them. So I say good luck to them. And I would personally say that I think as well, one of the sentiments I see a lot about this game is that like, oh, wait for sale on this one. This is just wait for it to go to $20. I'm like, nah, man, I think you should buy this video game. I think it's worth it. You know, like maybe not $70 for you. I'm not going to tell you what your money's worth to you. But what I'm saying is I don't think this is one you should just wait until it's at like the bottom of the sale basket, right? I think this is an RPG that's worth going out of your way to experience because I think there's a lot in there that's going to positively surprise you. Yeah, I think it's great. I really had a good time with it. I really truly did. So that's me.
Yeah, I need to get back to it and finish. Wait, so you haven't been playing Arc Raiders?
No, I haven't had time. I guess I just I really wish I did. I'm still actually playing a little bit of Battlefield in the background because I kind of like log in to do my dailies.
Yeah, and you did Redsec, right? You liked Redsec.
And I did Redsec. Yep, I did the battle royale. We can maybe talk about that a bit later as well if you like. Yeah. But I honest truth is that I really expected Outer Worlds to be like 20 to 25 hours and like, yeah, cool, we just smashed through it, whatever. Mm-hmm. I spent more than 40 hours with it and I really took my time to just like experience it. And for that reason, it kind of blew my week out. But it was because I was just loving it and I wanted to do, well, blew my week out. Is that what come on now. What are we doing with that? That's nothing, perfect. Okay? That's not a thing.
Something. That's not a thing.
That's one hell of a
phrase. So because I was enjoying it so much, I kept playing it and it really disrupted my overall productivity for the week, Lucy. Okay? Here you go.
Well said.
And and that was it. So, yeah.
Well, Jake, you've been... Did you get
Arc Raiders is cool. Yeah. Arc Raiders has been a lot of fun so far. It's not usually my type of game, but I see the hook. I see the appeal.
Okay.
And I've been playing with friends, and it's just been a really good experience. As a extraction shooter, that type of thing usually stresses me out. But I think the way the community has taken to the game, plus just how cool the game looks and feels, helped me get into it. You know, the presentation, the style, everything. It's so many menus and so many like deconstructing and recycling and dealing with bullshit loot, which like that's fine. And I'm glad people love that stuff. But I just like being out in the world and like wandering around and stumbling upon other players because there's been a really, and it's been really good. It's been really good. You know, you have moments where you'll see someone and they'll dome you from across the map. But then other times you'll be in an interior and you'll turn a corner and you'll run into other people and they're shouting like friendly, 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 don't shoot us, don't shoot us, don't shoot. And like you're willing to like, a lot of people so far seem to be willing to like have a conversation and like figure things out, work together.
You're only playing solo there, right?
No, I'm playing with people.
Oh, you are? Okay. Because
I've been rolling with two guys.
Okay, I hear that the solo experience is much more friendly toward that kind of, hey, let's team up thing, rather than the group stuff is a lot more hostile.
We have actually had moments playing naturally where we'd be like up on a hill or up on a roof and we see like one guy wandering and we go, okay, wait, look to see if anyone else follows him. Okay, no, it's just him. Just leave him. It's literally the mummy. It's like, the desert will kill him. Leave him, you know, like the magi. But yeah, it's stuff like that. And it's just been fun to see how that has naturally come up. A lot of the times at an extraction point, it's not hostile. It's not a hostile race to the finish line. It's more of a mad scramble of everyone together trying not to kill each other, just trying to survive while all still like kind of nervously looking around at one another. It's good for that stuff. But also the big thing too is that it plays well. I wish there was an option to like go prone. I think that would make the game a lot more complicated, but that would be pretty sweet. But the shooting feels great. The feedback is good, but the sound effects, the like crack of a gun. And also the fact too that I'm coming like hot off the heels of Battlefield, where like I could easily get desensitized by having like the best of the best with Battlefield 6, but like Arc Raiders, like the guns sound great. They feel great. You notice a difference, weapon types against different armor plating and stuff like that. And there's just like a real good tactile nature to it. Even when you're just shooting little like tiny drones in the sky, how the bullet hits them, what type of bullet, how it hits them, the sound it makes, how it feels, how much impact, but also the physics of the flying enemies, where if you just ping one on the side, it'll go off balance. And like, it's just like weirdly satisfying to like shoot these robots. Some of them aren't really that memorable, but like some of the bigger ones are pretty crazy and they can be really fun to take down. And yeah, I like, my guy looks cool. I like running around. I don't know how long it's going to hold me personally, because I tend to bounce off these things pretty quick. But I've been hopping in and still having a good time with it. It's cool.
Yeah, I do want to try it out just to get in on the little zeitgeist moment, I suppose.
Hop in with us. Hop in with the boys. Let's do
what are you
let's
playing?
do a
Are you
run.
playing on PC?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
for once. Yeah, I know. I've been a
I'm
couch
actually
guy
free this
lately,
weekend, so
but-
that'd be fun. I'm super excited to jump into it. As I said, I've just had so much work to get through, but my plan basically is to just play it all weekend because I've got nothing else on. But yeah, I did put a huge amount of time into it in various alpha tests though, because I've been playing it since it was like very early in development actually. Yeah. And yeah, from the start, you could sort of tell there was something really special about it, but I didn't anticipate it would end up anything like this. Like I really didn't. I was like, cool, there's something interesting here, but the way that they took it and the things they did with it was really crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really am super keen. And like, I think the response that it's been getting is crazy. We're talking like 300,000 peak current players on Steam.
Yeah.
You know, and it's still kind of growing. And that's a box product, by the way. It's like $40 plus, you know, a little bit more for like, you know, deluxe or whatever, if you want to do that. It's really interesting to reflect on that when you look at like Marathon, because you know, we sort of felt very uncomfortable about Marathon's price point, in large part because I just think Marathon wasn't really doing anything that made you go, oh, okay, yeah, cool, like I would pay for this, right? And I think that sort of really sharpened the discussion for me as I think back on it now, because the idea of Marathon charging what we saw of Marathon and then charging $40 for that just seemed like a bad idea, right? But if you make something that's really good quality, that's just got something there to it, yeah, people reach into their wallets clearly. Like they're happy to pay for something when they can feel that. Could the game have had more players if it was free to play? Absolutely. Would they have made more money if they'd done that? Maybe, if depending on how they tweak the monetization of the game. But they chose to go a premium path, and it's paid off spectacularly well for them. So
yeah. It's good for those moments. I mentioned sound design, but like sound design specifically around you is also really good because of being aware of other players. And it's really fun to like, you know, walk up to a building and you hear stuff from inside and you're like, okay, there's guys in there. Or we've had moments where we're in like a little like skyscraper or like apartment thing and we're on the top floor and we hear guys scuffling around on the bottom floor. And we're like, oh, all right, they're going to be coming up. And like, we've had moments where we all like essentially foxhole knowing these guys are going to come up. Like you just have so many moments like that in these types of games, like these fun little things. And plus too, the maps are really good. I really like them. Yeah. There's variety to them in terms of like weather, lighting, visibility, but then just, you know, geometry. They're all really good. I don't have like, well, I'm like, this one sucks. Like I don't have that. And that's huge.
That's the oil fields map in Battlefield, by the way.
Yeah.
Map, man, it's so bad.
It's brutal.
Anyway,
yeah,
it's so terrible. It's such an awful map. Every time I'm like, the only time I ever load into that map on purpose is when I want to, like, playing as Raycon or whatever. I need to get sniper kills just because it's such a big flat space. So easy to get sniper kills in that map. Stupid ass map. It's so fucking bad. Anyway,
I just suck at it. Like it's like I probably just hate it because I suck at it. But
you are not failing. The map is failing you. Trust me.
Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, no worries, man. Anytime. Speaking of which, Battlefield Battle Royale. Has anyone else jumped into this, by the way?
No, not yet.
Cool. Look,
Battle Royale is not really.
Sure.
I played a bunch of Warzone. I played a bunch of Fortnite. It doesn't hook me the whole time. I think.
Yeah, fair enough. Totally.
But I used to really like watching Shroud play. Apex.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
Nothing tops the early days of PUBG for me. Nothing better than that. Like just being a sweaty, like a PC sweaty, just like freaking out with your boys. Like watching
Right.
the horizon line and be like, is that a guy? Is that a guy? It's just like a pixel. You're like, you don't even know.
Yeah,
It's
running
great.
at like 6 FPS.
Yeah.
Oh god.
So what makes
No, look,
Redsec different?
I mean, that's the thing. I think one of the problems with it. Like, I think it's a good battle royale game because it really leverages the Battlefield sandbox. You know, there's artillery strikes which can basically pummel buildings and destroy buildings while you're in them. So, you know, if you see this artillery strike coming, you're like, I'm going to take cover. Sometimes it's not enough because, you know, the shells can just basically collapse a building on your head, right? And that's pretty sick. And obviously there's vehicles, but they kind of don't really work as well in Battle Royale for a variety of reasons, but whatever. I think that the overall question is like, there's already some really great Battle Royale games out there right now. You know, obviously you've got Apex if you're looking for that hero-driven sort of view of it. You've got Fortnite, which is crazy, and it just added a Simpsons thing, which looks incredible from the sounds of it.
Amazing.
It does
So
really
I'm like,
good.
I honestly, I think I'm going to have a go at that because it just looks so good. And I'm just like, obviously the Simpsons is our vintage. Like that's our thing.
Don't
So this is
call it
clearly a massive boom.
vintage. Oh
Dude,
my god.
The Simpsons is boomer at this point. I'm just owning it. It's
Look,
boomer
we're
shit
getting
now.
No,
It
I
could be.
am still recovering from this TikTok that a friend sent me of this girl calling jeans from 2010 vintage, and I was like,
Vintage jeans 2010.
vintage jeans.
No, that person
This is
an
how they would
idiot.
have worn them back then.
Anyway, so I think also you've got Warzone, which is attached to COD, which is, you know, it's got its own big kind of COD community. It's massive. You've got PUBG, which is actually massive in like Southeast Asia, for example.
Yeah.
Less so here, but it still has, you know, a big following, and it's also got a really strong mobile component. Like it's a very, very entrenched landscape that they're stepping into. And the question is like, is Redsec kind of good enough to break through all of that and pull people away from other offerings? I don't think so. But I think it's good in the sense that like it's fun. I've enjoyed it. I still play it from time to time when I'm just like in the mood. Yeah, like there's no complaints per se. It's kind of just like it's not really doing anything particularly interesting in the battle royale space that really makes you go, oh, I want to play this one as opposed to playing Fortnite. If I was to saddle up for a battle royale experience, it would probably be Apex and it would probably be Fortnite. It would not be this. I'd continue to play Conquest with Battlefield, you know?
But does it make good on like it's a Battlefield in a battle royale? Like, is it fun for that because the Battlefield gameplay is so good?
I think that Battlefield's mechanics and squad design and gadgets naturally lend themselves to the Conquest style of play better than they do this style of play, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
I think Apex Legends with its hero kits is a really good example of a bunch of tools that are set up to really buttress that kind of like that moment when two teams meet and it's time to fight, you know, and you've got your res stations and you've got your zip lines and you've got your shields and like just stuff that results in very interesting dynamic encounters between the two. Yeah. Fortnite obviously has its own kind of hooks with its like crazy shit that it adds to the game and obviously the building if you want to go down that path and whatever. You know, Battlefield, you can drop a fortified cover when you're a support and it's like a little block that sits in front of you and that's it. You know what I mean? Like I just think overall the sandbox is more impressive and better utilized in other game modes than this one. It's not that it's bad. It's just that, you know, it's just not really doing much else. You know, there's some boring ass missions that you do that like go and stand next to this thing for a few seconds to get a weapon drop. Okay. You know, that's about it, you know.
How's the map though? The map is big, like really
the map is big,
right?
and the map is honestly very good. It offers lots of different like encounter design style, like some of them kind of skyscrapers and some of them tech facilities and some of them shooting ranges and some of them, you know, microwave dish farms or whatever you want to call them. Like, there's a lot of different stuff there. And I do really like the map for that reason. There's so many different encounter scenarios it can serve up. But yeah, I mean, again, nothing super special, nothing really stand out. So my prediction is that this mode will kind of just exist on the side. I don't imagine that EA are going to pump a lot of resources into it to try to make it a true contender. That's my sense. I think they'll put some resources into it, but I just think there's a real chance for Battlefield through its user-generated content platform Portal to do big things and really interesting things. And also the core game, you know, there's that core player base who love the game and are going to keep playing it. I think that's where EA is going to make their money on Battlefield. I don't think it's going to be from the Battle Royale, but I could be completely wrong. Who knows? So yeah, that's Redsec, baby.
Lucy, what do you got?
I have been playing a lot of Powerwash Sim 2.
Okay.
Nice.
The first one was really good.
Second one is also very good.
What's the new hook? What's the sequel hook?
Oh, there's a jig. There's a machine which is like
Here we go.
you know when you basically like a floor cleaner with a spinning mop head.
Oh yeah.
Doing the floors with that. Oh, it's satisfying. Other than that, I mean, there's a hub space kind of thing where you can put furniture in. I don't really mess with that. Honestly, it's just because I'm trying. It's a really good game to stop me from doom scrolling, honestly, and kind of, I get the satisfaction of cleaning something, seeing the process, make, the before and after, very satisfying. I'm not on my phone as much. And when I'm around with my friends, I can still, contribute to the conversation. I can still watch stuff on TV. So it's a perfect second screen game. My one gripe with it is that it's a stick click to see, the last speck of dirt to make it shine. It's stick click and it's super annoying and you can't remap it. Allegedly, they are working on it, but I hate it because it's just really aggravating for my RSI. And I've actually I've pinched a nerve in my shoulder and I'm falling apart. And the last thing I want to bloody do is stick click to find something in Powerwash Sim, which is like a pixel-sized speck of dirt.
I know, sometimes it could be so small. They didn't change that? Okay.
No. The big news. So I was playing this and Joey from Kind of Funny was around and I sat there and it was me, friends Andrew and Jen and Max. And I sat there and I finished one and I went, finished a big job. And Jen was like, oh, cool. Is it something for, FPS or something for work or blah, blah, blah. And I just looked very sheepishly. And I just went, no, I was playing Powerwash Sim. And so of course,
I cleaned the playground.
I just cleaned this big park. And then we were talking about it because she was taking the piss out of me. And Joey went, no, this is huge. Because in this game, soap is free. You used to have to pay for the soap, and now it's free. And that's so true. I don't know. I'm slowly but surely trying to get Jen on side. But I've been playing that. I played the Fractured Blooms demo, which is being published and developed by Serenity Forge. And Serenity Forge were the publishers for Doki Doki Literature Club.
Okay.
And Kill the Princess and a bunch of stuff. So I guess going into it, I knew there would be some kind of fucked upness. It's only the demo. I think it's still available. It is a very interesting take on a cozy game. God, I hate the term cozy game. I hate that term. I really have beef with that term.
You got to pioneer the real title for it. You got to come up with it. Let's workshop
unfortunately,
this.
Cozy game is perfect. It's
unfortunately it is perfect, but I think it
soft game. No. Plush game? No, that's also bad.
No, I mean,
light
I don't know.
game?
I would call,
LITE?
I'd call Dredge one of those, but then Dredge is Lovecraftian horror. Anyway.
Yeah.
This is an argument that I'll have with myself for another time.
Low impact game. Like how you would do a low impact exercise.
Low impact game. Low impact game.
Jeff Keighley will add that. There's games for impact and then low impact games.
Games for low impact.
It's going to be the other category of the Game Awards.
Low impact game sounds like they're about to get put on a pip, dude. And anyway, so this is a psychological horror take on a cozy game. So at the very beginning, you are in a garden, you are harvesting crops, you're planting things. And then you go into the house and you make dinner. And then you have
this game.
chores to do before you go to bed. And then it's kind of a loop. And so the next day you do the same thing, same chore, but there is some kind of horror to it that I don't want to spoil.
Okay.
And then, just the way that the character talks, things that she reveals about the environment or the things that she has experienced. Then you do one, and the thing that you have to do before going to bed is picking up laundry and putting it in the machine. I have never been more stressed in my life picking up laundry and putting it in the machine because it's just the way that the game makes it this very intense, very stressful process. And so, I mean, the core loop, which is those loops, super interesting. very kind of subverting what we come to think of as a cozy game. That cozy game. Where I'm interested in is how that is going to translate to a full game and the extent to which the psychological horror is going to take part. So that's the thing. It's only like a half-hour long demo. I really think it has an interesting start.
Yeah, it stuck with me when I saw the trailer just because it has this weird look of being kind of like a realistic kind of. But
then the character model is very.
It's just anime girl.
Girl.
It's like cel shaded anime girl in like what remains of Edith Finch. Like
yes,
it's
so
weird.
That's the thing where I think, or I'm assuming because I don't know, but I think that is going to be maybe something that they tap into. There's a reason for her looking so remarkably different from the environment. So no, it's very cool. Good sound design.
Before you go into
too.
your last one, sorry, go ahead.
No, good sound design too. I played it with headphones on. It was great.
Is that the horror? Like, is that what brings the horror? Like, is it the sound, or is it?
No, I think just sound design was good, and suitably creepy. The horror comes from certain changes happen to the house. Let's just put it like that. Fractured blooms. And also, some of the things she says and insinuates towards, I think, are the things that will... Again, I'm trying to talk around it because I don't want to outwardly spoil. And also, it's a demo.
But it's got a Steam tag and it says cute anime.
That's a lie.
So do most of those like fucked up psychological horror, like romance, like simulators.
Yeah, but no. And then my final one is the Seance of Blake Manor, with which I have become obsessed.
Okay, so I saw Danny O'Dwyer tweet about this, saying that like it was like it brought tears to his eyes. It made him proud to be an Irishman. It's game of the year for him. Obviously, that's just Irish bias, though. So give us, please, the British take on this game, because if even the British enjoy it, there must be something to it.
I think it's one of the best detective games I've ever played, and it's
no way
going to be in my top 5.
And you play a lot of detective games. Yeah,
you're into these games.
I love it. So the Seance of Blake Manor is a detective game, an investigation game where you play as an investigator and you are summoned by a mysterious unsigned letter to a hotel in the middle of Ireland. I don't know why I accidentally did like a little Irish lilt on that, but
I was like,
middle of Ireland.
I was like, this is so far it's Silent Hill 2 in Ireland. Continue.
Because one of the guests has gone missing.
Okay, still Silent Hill 2. Go on.
Very Silent Hill. You arrive, and the game very quickly teaches you its loop of investigations. You basically have this mind map type thing. So every time you talk to someone, every lead you uncover, every piece of evidence, you have to examine people, and you can note, hey, maybe they look tired. I should talk to them about it. Or, they have a weird cross around their neck. I could talk to them about it. All of that gets put into essentially the menu, like your casebook, your mind palace. However, so you're trying to figure out where this girl has gone, why everyone's being so weird about it. And the reason they're all being so weird about it is because the hotel is pretty full. Everyone is in town to witness a seance.
Okay.
And the seance is happening on the Sunday at 9 p.m. And in that time, you have various people's schedules to uncover. There are events that the hotel is putting on, like talks, or maybe they're having a dinner, maybe the bar is open at a certain time so you can go talk to people, or you have to go to lunch or breakfast. Every action you take takes 1 minute of time. Okay. And you have multiple suspects, multiple mysteries, which get into the realm of ghosts and apparitions and folklore. And so you can, pretty early on, I would say, like you can find a master key for some of the bedrooms. So you can spend time rooting around in a bedroom. But is that a worthwhile use of your time? Is it not better to actually go talk to people and uncover and follow different leads? So there are also fail states, which is super interesting. I had a fail state very, like in the first half hour, because I kept going into the manager's office and he was like, I asked you to leave, quit it, get out. And then I had a fail state of the game. And so apparently there are other ones later on too, if you get, and there's There's a hedge maze. There are different places to uncover and unlock and find the entrances to. This hotel is steeped in history and mystery. All of the characters have their own reasons to be there are reasons to be suspicious of literally everyone. And there's also a kind of upstairs downstairs element to it, where you have these people who've come in town for the seance, but there's also the people who work at the hotel who are the groundspeople, the maids, people who work in the bar. They have their own secrets too. I'm a nosy bitch. I read everything. I want to do all the chatting with them and find out what they're going on about. It is such a compelling mystery. Like, I uncovered a secret the other day and I was like, I think I've blown this whole thing wide open. Spoiler alert, I did not. But it's very satisfying. And then what you can do is, once you've gathered enough clues or, followed enough leads in a certain mystery, you can make a hypothesis, which is essentially the gameplay from like Golden Idol or something, when you're or a detective game, I guess. But it's like, you're doing the thing where it's like, this person is doing this because why, and putting all that together. And when you land one of those, it's like, feels so good. The one thing I would say that doesn't gel with me about it, the voice acting is very good too, by the way. They use it quite sparingly, but it is very good when you get it. The one thing I would say that doesn't necessarily gel with me is the art style. Something about it, it's quite like cartoon, like comic booky.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I feel like it should have been more stylized to really fit with the tone and the story that's being told. But that is a minor gripe. I'm besotted with it. It's really good.
Okay. God, I wish I had
played
time
it
for that
for
right now.
6 hours nonstop on Sunday.
Yeah, that's
My
nice.
friends went to the antique market, and I love doing that. But I just went, hey guys, I'm just going to sit in and play a game. Also, it turns out I made the right decision because apparently it was hot as balls. So I did not want to go.
How does this compare to something like the other darling Blueprints? Like in terms of getting into it? Because I bounced off of that very quickly.
I feel like if you play the jelly, okay.
It was such a great sound effect.
That was a classic.
It really just
sound,
felt super canned. Like,
yeah. I'm gonna put that on the floor. I think it is more rewarding more quickly than Blueprints.
Okay.
So there's a first hour, in-game hour, that is, where you have to fix an item and do the thing before getting into your room. And then once you go to bed, there's like the first sort of supernaturally type thing starts happening. And I think it is definitely a more compelling start. And I think if those two things grab you, then the rest of it will. Like, I would find in secret passages, secret doors, getting into places I wasn't supposed to be. There's another thing where it's like, you have to ask people what their routines are, because otherwise you might try and like go through their belongings and they'll be there. And then people freak out. So like, why are you in my bedroom? I was like, I thought you were in the drawing room.
Is it all in one? Is it all in Blake Manor?
Yes.
Or is it?
And the grounds.
So how is the design? Because I like a good, like tightly designed haunted house.
It's great. Yeah, it's good. There's like the West Tower and the East Tower and the gardens and
Do they have weird doors or weird?
I mean, there's statues that, like, I walked past it, a statue moved, and I
scared
yeah, like this place seems haunted.
How many hours have you put into it now?
Like 7, 8.
Total. Okay, right. So how do you know how long it is in total?
No, I don't want to know.
Okay, right.
Yeah, but you're already that in love with it. That's great.
I feel, well, because I'm at the end of the first full day almost, and I have the full second day, which is when the seance is. Okay. And yeah, you can talk to everyone, and that's the thing. There are so many of these leads to follow. Jesus. Jelly just jumped off my desk to attack Peanut, and then Peanut.
I just heard that. Yeah, that was.
See that? I can tell you how long it is.
You
don't want to know. Okay, fine. I won't tell you. Don't want to know. Right. You can look it up on How Long to Beat. Anyone is interested.
I'm just really, really enjoying the journey, and I've got a plane ride tomorrow.
Cool.
And undoubtedly
play it on your
kind
ROG.
of delay. I am, yeah. Oh, the other thing that kind of does bug me is the acceleration when you turn around is wrong.
Okay.
It's bad.
Okay.
And I can't seem to get it to be much better. But otherwise, it's a great game. I think, yeah, I desperately want more people to play it because it's a very satisfying puzzle game. Great year for me in puzzle games, man.
Yeah, seriously.
For me specifically.
Was Lorelei last year or this year?
Last year.
Lorelei, Blueprints, Duck Detective, Golden Idol. This. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. Root Trees.
Oh, Root Trees. I totally forgot about Root Trees. I've had that installed on my devices all year long, waiting to play it. I just haven't had any time. So like, it's definitely been, 100% always.
I've never even heard of that one.
Yeah, the Root Trees are dead.
They are dead.
And
I definitely talked about
Ancestry. It's like Ancestry.com meets a detective game. So
whoa, this
like
looks cool.
The ultimate boomer fodder. Boomers bow down before it.
I must have talked about it. No, because it came out in January, right?
Yeah, you did.
We didn't do an episode.
You spoke about it for sure. That's how I heard about it from you. Yeah.
So that's all I've been playing. Jake, you got anything else?
Yeah, I played a bunch of Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. I got to preview like a work in progress version
you,
of
man.
it.
I'm so mad. How dare you? I'm so mad
cool.
about it.
It's exactly what you expect. It is simple.
Sure.
It is definitely like you're going to want to play it with a younger sibling or your child, because they're doing the Arkham thing, but it's much simpler.
Yeah,
but it's kind of cool to see it like pared down and simple because it does retain a lot of it. You are doing Predator sections, and it's like, okay, grapple hook up to a gargoyle and go from gargoyle to gargoyle and like throw things to distract enemies. And all the animations are great. The stealth takedown animations are incredible. Sometimes Batman will grab an enemy by the neck and then instead of choke them out, he'll bring him in for like a noogie. He'll do like a frying pan over and just bang.
Yeah.
And I'm good for a frying pan bit always. And it's like a bat frying pan. It's like a frying pan with a Batman logo on it. It does a lot of like cute stuff like that, but also I did some open world stuff. Didn't really find it too compelling. You can instantly spawn your Batmobile and drive around, find collectibles, do little side objectives like races and stuff like that. But when I funneled into like a main mission, and of course it was at Ace Chemical because it's Batman, of course. It was just really good. It was just like a good linear Lego game mission with a sub boss and a main boss and like a big action set piece at the end. And it was like entertaining, well done, cool. And I was able to play it because it's built for co-op. So like I'm playing as Batman, but Commissioner Gordon was following me for this. So Commissioner Gordon was just as capable as Batman. Like he has his own little tech and stuff like that. Like he'll grappling hook too, but like when he grapple hooks his animation, he's like, whoa, like flying out of control with it. A lot of little things like that, but also really good references, like just how the Ace Chemical mission was built. It's like the Red Hood gang, but kind of like the New 52 Red Hood gang, but the leader is technically kind of like Jack Napier from Batman 89, and just like this weird mishmash of things. The references are really good, really, really good henchman dialogue when you're like sneaking around listening to the henchman. Knocked a henchman into a vat, a big vat of chemicals, and he goes, "Oh no, it's boiling acid," which is like a really good cut from Batman Forever, where I was like, okay, all right, guys. So it's doing a lot of fun stuff like that, and between that and the skins for the Batmobile, it does what I wanted it to do, where it's like a nice light celebration of Batman. The voice actor for Batman, he's fine. It's kind of like a light version of Will Arnett from the Lego Batman movie, but it's cool. I was thoroughly entertained, and I'm looking forward to seeing more. In terms of like the combat and the Arkham combat and like all that, it's looser. It's not as tight. It's not as like addictive and honed, but it gets the job done. And again, like the animations are cool. It's fun. It's silly. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they pull it off. I think it's coming next year, right? 2026.
I think so.
Yeah.
Nice.
No.
Well, should we talk about what we've been doing that isn't a game?
Definitely.
I really don't have much. I don't really think I have anything, to be honest.
Mistborn, more Mistborn.
I've just been reading more Mistborn, which I am enjoying, but nothing to report on that. And like, nothing else, man. Nothing.
Shuffling magic cards.
Actually, I'll tell you one thing. Funnily enough, Arc Raiders sent me like a little press kit thing that had like, stickers or whatever. Like you get these from time to time.
Yeah.
And did you guys get this Arc Raiders thing?
Yes,
No.
we got it at the office.
Okay. It had a cassette tape in it, like a cassette player, like a
yeah.
How are you
thing.
saying that word?
Cassette.
Cassette.
How do you say it?
Cassette.
Cassette.
It's been so long since you've had to say it out loud.
How are you meant to say it? What did I say? Cassette?
You said
cassette.
Cassette.
Yeah, cassette. Yeah, cassette. Yeah, that's right.
This is like when Americans say like, "Oh, I'm saying Craig." I'm like, "You're saying Craig." All right.
All right, whatever. It's a tape. I got a tape player, okay? It's a tape player. And it was just cool. Like you put in it sounds really dumb, but you put in the tape, press the play button, the thing spins. It has a really distinctive sound. You can hear the static in the background.
Oh.
And it gets a little bit wobbly at times, if you like move it around or whatever.
Yeah.
And I listened to some music on cassette and I was kind of like, you know what? This is fucking cool. It's actually really nice that this is how we used to do it. Actually kind of like got me looking in on like YouTube channels that do like reviews of tape, like tape decks in the modern era and how they talk about them, what they're tracking. And like, apparently no one's been able to figure out how to make a good tape player, like a portable tape player for like the last 20 years. And basically you need to go back and you need to buy the old Sony ones and refurb them because that's the only way. It's like lost technology at this point. Like they can't figure out how to do it properly. And so people are like buying old Sony Walkmans for like, hundreds of dollars so they can then be refurbed and you can listen to music on a cassette. But it was nice because it was like, there was no distractions. There's no notifications. It was just kind of like, I sat there for a bit and I listened to some music that was just playing on analog and it was really nice. I don't know.
You've come to the right place, man. You know how like, how some people like
fucking go.
You know how some people like will have their little like, Beats or like Bose Bluetooth speaker that they bring to the beach, or like maybe you put it outside when you're in the backyard. My version of that, I have a old Pioneer boombox, like the ones like the rappers used to have on their shoulder. Like I have one of those refurbished and I just like rigged a little Bluetooth dongle to it and play like Spotify through it. And it's awesome. And the speaker quality is really, really good.
Yeah, nice.
I also like I have vinyl too. I've gotten into records over the last.
I like
But tape is cool, man. Tape is like I haven't really slapped a lot of tapes into it.
Yeah,
it's extremely satisfying to hold a thing and then slot it in and close the thing and press the button. Like I know it sounds really dumb, but everything right now in our life is just a screen and it's a touch screen and it's just a click of a button or whatever. There's not a lot of analog left in our life these days when it comes to the media we consume. And then it's just a really nice thing to like look at a tape that has things on it that people have worked on and then made it. And then, you know what I mean? I don't know. Obviously it's like boomer talk. It's like, back in my day, but like, that was how I started listening to music. And it was really funny to go back and remember that and experience it again and be like, you know what? This holds up in its own different way in the modern era. Like it holds up to sit there and listen to a tape, so
I love that.
Can you
apparently
guys,
there's like
can either of you recall your first cassette tape you ever had?
I can't remember. I can actually. Yeah,
from the radio.
Yeah, no.
I used to make my own mixtapes a lot.
Yeah. Record. Yeah, I would listen for like when they would do the top 10 countdown, right? Like on a station, and you would like time it and hit it.
Yeah.
And you'd always have a little bit of the DJ talking in the beginning.
Right at the beginning of Stan by Eminem.
I always used to, in terms of tapes, my first tape that I probably owned was the 80s BBC Radio 2 or 4 version of the Lord of the Rings, the cast recording.
All right.
With John LeMessurier, Bill Nye, Ian Holm. Because Ian Holm played Frodo in that, and then he obviously went on to play Bilbo.
No way. I didn't know that. That's
I didn't
cool.
know that.
Oh, yeah. And so, like, it's a radio play, and they have music, sound effects.
That's
it's
great.
great. And I used to listen to that every night to kind of go to sleep.
Hell yeah.
That's cool.
My first tape was Michael Jackson Thriller. That was it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you see
it
those
was
pictures
Thriller.
of Miles Teller today?
Okay, I'm sorry. There's no way that's real. I saw that and I'm like, I'm checking the thing. Is that a parody account?
This is
Like,
a photo
there's
of Miles Teller in the new Michael Jackson biopic, right?
But they say that he's not playing Michael Jackson though.
No. He's
No,
like
that was-
Michael Jackson's lawyer or something.
Okay, cool, right? Because it was like
okay, good.
it was like the way that post was written. It made it look like he was playing Michael Jackson, and I'm like, is this a parody? And it wasn't. I think it was just a really badly worded post because I'm like, that dude
man.
does not look like Michael Jackson at all. You know. So yeah. Anyway,
Thriller, that's awesome. Nice.
That was it. All
All
That's
right.
me.
Yeah, for me, I continuing from last week talking about Frankenstein, or as I refer to him, Big Frank. The you know, like when you see the guy, like the big one, like, you know, with the flat head with the bolts in his neck.
Yeah.
Every time I'm like, that's Big Frank.
That's my guy, Big Frank.
But yeah, I saw Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein in
Ooh,
theaters.
how was it?
I got to catch that limited release. It was great. It was really, really good. It's a really good combo of the 1931 Frankenstein, like original Boris Karloff, and then Bride of Frankenstein, the second one, mixed with the book. So there's a lot of elements in the of the book that are represented here really well. The only thing is that they made Frankenstein kind of hot, kind of going for like another Shape of Water type of thing a little bit.
Right,
But
right.
it was like, in terms of like set design and costume design and just like visuals, it looks incredible. And it very much like represented, I think, like the novel very well, except for Victor Frankenstein. I feel like that was still a missed opportunity. Oscar Isaac was really, really good, but I don't think they drilled down enough into his character. But everything else is great. The tale of him and the monster and like where it goes and how it ends and how the story is bookended. It was great. It's also gross and weird and like sticky, like it should be.
Hell yeah.
Like it's very cool when he like makes the monster. It's like gross. They add some stuff. They play around with some new ideas. They don't all land for me, but I still thought it was like a very entertaining watch. Gorgeous, like from like sound, visuals, everything. Yeah, I had some like I lost my train of thought. I kind of made a video about it. Like I threw it in the back of a video, my Halloween video, because I didn't really have anywhere else to put a video talking about Frankenstein. But yeah, I thought it was very good. The best ever? No, but I thought it was very, very good. And I just like Guillermo del Toro's approach. It's very much that. It's very much like what you'd expect, like a Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein, but I dug it. I highly recommend it because it comes out on Netflix like any day now.
Tomorrow.
So
Okay,
Jacob
cool.
Elordi, who I'm not too familiar with. I've only seen him in...
he's in Euphoria.
He's in Euphoria. What was he in where he was like a sexy boy?
Euphoria.
No, there was another thing where he was like a heartthrob. Was it Saltburn? Was that him?
Yes.
That was, yeah. So I've only really seen him in like that. So I wasn't like overexposed to him. So I thought he did a really good job as Frankenstein's monster. Because he talks a lot, more like in the novel. And he did a really, really good job nailing that kind of like Victorian speak, that very like, you know, really good.
Yeah, I always think there's some actors, you know, they get kind of accused of having iPhone face. And so I really like it when people who I assume would have iPhone face, like I think Lily Rose Depp in Nosferatu is another one.
Can you describe like what that means for people? It's really good. It's a good concept.
iPhone face is the barometer of someone in a period piece if they look out of place, because if you look at them and they know what an iPhone is, it's usually
they look modern. Yeah,
they look modern. They look like they know what an iPhone is. It's usually because someone has had some kind of plastic surgery that has made everyone, a little more homogenized, I suppose, to everyone else. And so I love it when people are just, they kind of have, like, I don't know, they just fit the tone better. Just fit it.
Oh, also one other thing this movie really had, a lot of good practical action. That kind of like good explosions and good, like when like the monster shows up and he starts like fucking dudes up. It's like wire work. Like he's like throwing men across the room and they're like hitting walls and it looks real and it feels real. So there's like that like big imposing power of the monster. Really cool. Definitely entertaining.
I'm excited for that. I'm going to watch it this weekend in the Bake Off finale. I want to bring up something that's quite exciting because it was actually via a user of this very podcast. So I got an email a few months ago now from a user named Joe Butler who said, "Hey, Lucy, I wrote a book and I think you'd dig it. Do you want to read it?" And so, speaking of things that are analog, I was really thrilled because they sent me a PDF and I was like, do you have a physical copy? And they did.
Yeah.
And very much wears the inspirations on its sleeve. It's called Imperfect Creatures. It's very much for fans of House of Leaves, Alan Wake, Twin Peaks, a narrative about grief, guilt, childhood trauma bonding, but it has a really unique, a really cool sort of time loop sort of thing. So the main character, Claire, is driving home for her dad's funeral and she hits a guy and he dies. Then there's a different one where Claire is driving into the town. She knows that the guy's there, misses him, but hits a deer. And then there's another one where she drives in again and doesn't hit anything at all.
Oh, okay.
The center of the book, like it's on the thing here, so I don't feel bad about saying it, is that her childhood house is essentially feeding off pain. And it's a really interesting look at, the house is supposed to be a place of like warmth, of protection. Well, what if that house is feeding off you and wants the complete opposite for you? I think it's really well written. I like the fact that it is it's a female character who is just very relatable, and it's a protagonist who, like, I love it when a protagonist kind of sucks a little bit in terms of like being a person. I really enjoyed My Year of Rest and Relaxation for that reason, where it's like you're allowed to be a flawed person who's just trying to figure it out. I think there's some really cool eldritch horror in it. I also love the fact that they did a bunch of stuff on the page itself, very much like House of Leaves. And I blasted through it. The publisher, bless them, they messaged me. They're like, "Oh yeah, hey, here's the deadline to write something about it. Sorry, we know it's a big book. It's like 500 pages or whatever." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it." I sped through it.
Wow, cool.
That's
Nice.
a good sign.
I loved it. And so, Joe, thank you for listening to the podcast and sending it to me. Got a real good book, man. I loved it. So,
cool.
Again, what was it called?
Job. Imperfect Creatures.
Imperfect Creatures.
Imperfect.
Look at us. We're like we're like late night talk show hosts now. We're out here promoting book, at the end of a show. That's us,
become.
Man.
I don't want to say I've become a book influencer.
Okay.
But I also did get Keza McDonald's book about Nintendo, which I'm going to read this weekend while I'm on holiday.
Nice.
So
That could
thank
be
you,
good.
Keza, for sending that one over. But yeah, getting books early is so weird because
That's cool.
Well, like there's a thing on the front page in here where it's like, hey, this hasn't been properly proofed and there's going to be errors in it.
I only get Schreier's books early, and I feel very. I'm like, ooh, look how cool I am.
Yeah. And then this is just like, there's thanks for agreeing to read this unproofed advanced copy. It's just cool. So yeah, I did that, and I also watched very quickly. I watched a movie called If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You.
Nice.
I think it's A24. Everyone said Uncut Gems was really stressful. I did not find Uncut Gems stressful.
Wow.
Okay. Because I didn't understand that it was a real basketball game that he was betting on. So I was just like watching it and I was like, yeah, I get it. This is not stressing me out personally. This was my uncut gems. I have never been so stressed watching a movie, clenched my jaw the whole way through. It's Rose Byrne, who's
Love her.
Incredible, is a mother with a child who's having some issues. Her husband is away, their apartment floods, and she's got shit going on at work. And she, throughout all of this, is trying to keep it together, look after her kid, not lose it at work because she's a therapist. She has, people that she is taking care of, and some people there are having essentially mental breaks, and she's responsible for them. But no one is looking out for her. It is a movie about how literally no one in this woman's life gives a shit about her, and she's just trying to do everything just to keep going.
That's heavy.
Especially when it comes to the child. I think they do a very, very important and impactful thing, is that you don't see the kid throughout. This is like firmly the mother's perspective on keeping everything together. So you don't like that kid is like, she's off screen, her voice is off screen, or it's just like you see her hair or something. I think it's a really interesting way of playing with that. Because normally, hey, it's a movie, you would see the character's face, and that helps you build a rapport and a relationship and care about that character. But in having this kind of detachment, but seeing how Rose Byrne's character is so desperate to do everything she can. It's also Conan O'Brien's in it. He plays an asshole, and he's really good.
Really?
Love that.
Yeah. He plays her therapist, who essentially gaslights and ignores her the whole time. It's a really, really incredible movie. Stressed me the fuck out. And I also watched it with two mothers. And so I'm not a mother myself. I'm an aunt to many. And so I can understand, from a certain level. But watching it with two of my friends who are both mothers, it's a stressful watch. It's very good. Stressful watch.
It was almost good. I have one other one. A House of Dynamite. The new
the
Catherine
Netflix
Bigelow
one. Yeah.
Dude, I was hoping I could say, I was locked in at the beginning. I was like, Catherine Bigelow's done it again. The GOAT returns. But it did not stick the landing. And I kind of ugh, yeah. So I don't really recommend it. But good idea. I don't know. I think it seems like more people like it than not. But for me, I don't want to spoil it, but there's something about doing an ambiguous ending where an ambiguous ending can hit like a bang, not literal, but hit like with a bang or with a whimper, and you just kind of go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And unfortunately,
Inception would be a bang.
Yeah.
This would be, okay.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
Rip.
All right.
That about does it for this
That's
week.
a show.
That's a show.
It's shorter than last time. Still pretty long.
Still
though.
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Still 2.5 hours ish. So that's that.
Us.
But yeah.
But no, thank you very much for listening or watching. We'll be back again in a couple weeks. We have the newsletter. We're more active on the socials.
Yes, we're out
there. So please be excited. Please be excited.
And don't forget to it, as the Japanese say.
Yes. Yeah, don't forget to send us your user questions. Contact at friendspersecond.com. Rate us on podcast platforms if you would so enjoy. Yeah. And we'll see you in a couple weeks. Isn't that right, Jake?
Just search friends per second on everything. Yeah. Honestly, that's the way to do it now. We're there. We're everywhere. But I guess that's it. So all I ask is you guys have a great weekend. Be sure to blow your weekends back out or whatever else.
Blow your weekends back out is very different to blow your week out, okay? You're inserting an entire other word. It's like,
sure are.
Okay, you just, oh God.
Tie your shoes and go to bed.